I was like, I'm gonna do the lunch off. Like, I'm gonna have to well, I'm not having turkey. Fucking hate turkey, but you know.
Why are they making anything other than turkey?
We're doing steak, mac and cheese, and sweet potato. I'm like, that's an
amazing meal. Yeah, steak and mac and cheese is like the fucking best meal ever. That's a Dusty Hanshaw special.
It's what Luke and I used to go get.
I think everybody did. I think every bodybuilder does steak and mac and cheese at some point. It's just Dusty. Yeah. Dusty is like the most.
Yeah, he's
vocal about it.
Owned it. Yeah, but it's like him and his square plates, right? Because he's everything off a square plate.
I have square plates, but they have rounded edges, but they're square. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you. No sharp edges.
So you're going over there for? So my wife made a big deal about that too, because I've been eating pretty good for about 3 weeks now, and I'm like, I'm still a little bit like got a little bit of room in my diet, so I was like, I think I'm going to turn things up a notch and go like full blast now. And she's like, can you do it after Christmas? Because we're having dinner tomorrow. So I'm like, right. I don't care. I'll eat anything you make. I just don't want to miss any meals.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if I eat extra. I just don't want to fucking, and sometimes you eat too much. You end up going like 5 hours though eating.
Yeah, I do have clients. I'm like, hey, if you're gonna have a meal off, I'm not gonna tell you what to eat. Just be able to eat your meal 3 hours later.
That's what I've always said. I'm like, if you're gonna eat, don't binge, because if you have a big ass binge, you're probably not gonna eat for the rest of the fucking day. Right. Or there's gonna be like a 5 hour gap between the next meal.
That's why if I do it like meal 5, not meal 6, right? Because also I used to do the whole like double pizzas, ice cream, and like last meal like 9 o'clock at night, and then I would lay there and for like till 2 a.m. I'd be like having to sit up and burp and like, and my turtle shell would be out here, right? I'm like, I can't lay fucking down. This just sucks.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't get that crazy anymore like I used to. I still get some sloppy shit, but not like before.
Yeah. Yes, Jim.
Is he there? There he is.
James, how are we?
What's up?
I'm all right, but I just feel bad. I've always got washing hanging in the background. That's terrible, isn't it?
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
It's clean washing. It's not dirty washing.
Good. I feel like because Janicke thinks it's offensive.
No, I got a rack like that. You know, it's funny. It's amazing. I don't dry any of my fucking workout clothes in the dryer.
No.
Maybe some of my t-shirts and stuff, and obviously my underwear and socks and stuff. But like a lot of my pants and my hoodies, I don't dry them.
So what do you just hang them like that?
Yeah, I got a rack like that, and it's always full of hoodies or pants because they all shrink. I don't want them to shrink.
Yeah, that's true. Do you put one hoodie on that rack, and that's the rack done?
No, but like you drape.
It's like you put a 3XL on it, and it's like, oh, there's no room left for anything else now.
No, but you see how he's got it draped. You can fit everything in there.
Yeah, you got to have the skill.
I shouldn't say I do it. My wife does it. Thank God.
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't hang that either.
Yeah.
all my washing's on my bed laid out for me to hang up, but it's all done.
Yeah.
When Janicke was away, you should have looked how that rack looked.
It was probably just all thrown on there, like all just fucking scattered.
It was terrible. It was literally just all
all on top of each other.
Yeah, literally nothing dried. It took like 6 days for something to dry.
What are you doing for Christmas, James?
Just having a quiet one, man. Me, Janicke. And then my friend Louis will probably pop over in the evening, come get some food, and that's it. Really.
Is that allowed? That's breaking protocol, no?
Yeah.
No, he's actually in my support bubble.
Is that what it's called over there? A support bubble?
Yeah, because when Janicke was away, and he lives alone, and I lived alone, he was the person that was my support bubble. So he's in my support bubble.
But is that your term, or is that the UK?
No, that's the thing.
That's a term. That's a term. Yeah, man. So if any of us needed help, he's the man.
That's a good. I don't think we have that term here.
No, but you haven't locked down. You haven't locked down like the UK have now.
No, we have now. All of Ontario, the province where I live.
That is why you're doing your own gym.
No. It's funny.
That's why.
I've started a trend.
No, well, it's funny. When I started, I'll tell you. It's I never told the story. I don't think this is why I started bodybuilding. I couldn't afford to buy a gym, and I wanted a gym. That was my whole thing. I'm like, I want to buy a gym. Yeah. But I didn't have like $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to do it. So I'm like, maybe if I start professional bodybuilding, I'll get a big enough name and somebody will do it with me. Like they'll buy the gym
like Dorian had back in the day,
Yeah,
initially with the
Yeah, you have an investor and then you put your name on it or whatever, and it's your gym and you have like a 50% like ownership kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then that never happened. Nobody ever nobody ever approached me. Nobody ever fucking. So I was like, how am I going to get this gym? And all along I've been wasting all this money on cars and all this shit. I never thought to myself, because I'm fucking stupid, I never thought to myself, why don't you buy one piece at a time until you have enough?
Yeah, accumulate.
Right? That's what I do.
Yeah.
I had some guy must be like, oh, you're so lucky that I'm like, it's not okay. Let's not.
It's not luck.
Like,
yeah.
Like I don't go and buy a Range Rover. I don't go and buy this. I don't go and buy that. I buy a piece. Then the next month I bought another one.
Yeah.
I mean, Denise now stopped me, but
this is the thing. It's not. Let me explain myself. It's not because I'm stupid. You know how you guys know how I am. It's like I'm black and white. So I'm like, either I don't have a gym or I have the money to buy the entire gym.
Yeah. So this is not your normal way.
I'm kind of brown. I'm not black or white. You're right. I'm kind of brown.
It breaks the mold a little bit for you because it's not your normal way, is it? You kind of want to go out today and have a gym.
Well, this is the thing. I thought to myself, I just cleaned out my garage and we got a pretty big garage and we don't park the cars in the garage. And I'm like, why don't I just buy fucking one piece at a time until I have like a decent amount of equipment? I'll put it all in the garage. And I also have our warehouse facility that I can use too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just going to buy one piece at a time.
What was that warehouse?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I think Ben was going to say the same. I'm gonna let you do what you got to do, bro.
When like the first quarantine hit, I'm sure you were training in this little warehouse with a shutter door.
Yeah, and
there was some leg pieces in there.
That's actually so that warehouse is my brother's warehouse because he owns a textiles plant.
There you go.
And he has a trainer that works in the warehouse. That's all his equipment. So he trains the entire staff there. So that wasn't my gym or my stuff. I was just kind of working out there.
Yeah.
But I can use that warehouse to store some of the equipment I'm buying. So it's actually been kind of fun. Like it's fun kind of looking around for pieces and finding like cool shit. Cause I don't know about you guys, man. I don't like all the new equipment. I don't like new stuff. Like I like all the old like Cybex, like Precor, like some of the old shit, you know?
I just literally, because I was going to buy my next piece I want to buy is a big leg piece, and I was going to buy the Arsenal. I was going to buy the Arsenal strength hack squat.
Yeah.
When I was in Orlando, they had one. I'm like, it's bothering my knee. Mm-hmm. So I moved to the Cybex leg press. You know the one that kind of arcs.
But it's more for your hamstrings almost.
Yeah, it's the one the mechanism's like a bolt through. And
and it's a pain in the ass to rack it because that little handle goes the wrong way when you try to fucking And I started using that. I'm like, oh fuck that, I'm getting this. So I took a picture and sent it to my guy. I was like, this is the next piece and that's what I like doing when I go to other gyms. I'm like, you try those older machines. This feels fucking great.
Man, the gym I train at right now. So there's a little city called Tilbury. It's about 20 minutes from Windsor.
Yeah.
From where I live, and I drive there every day to go work out now because this gym has every piece in there is Cybex.
I love that gym.
Yeah, it's my favorite place. So the piece you're talking about, Ben, they have that piece, and next to it, Cybex makes an actual leg press, like the normal one.
Yeah,
that's the one Dorian used to use.
That's my favorite fucking leg press. It's like you don't have to put a lot of weight on it, like not nine plates, and you're like, whoa, right?
So that's the same leg press that Ant Bells has.
I love that one. And then they also have the Cybex hack squat there, which is like totally humbling. Like you put 4 or 5 plates on that thing. I mean, I don't know about you guys. You guys are obviously stronger.
No, it's the same. It's the same. It fucks you. It's hard.
It's crazy, man. Because if you use the Atlantis one, you can put like 8 plates on it.
Well, it's shallower as well, right? The angle is shallower, and everyone's loading it up with 10 plates. But look at me, I'm it's not. The Cybex like that. Like the Flex Fitness do one as well, and that's a bitch. Like, that's real weight. Whatever's on there is what you're lifting.
I wish I could show you the piece I just found. I found an old hack squat. You know, the oldest hack squats are the worst. Like not the worst. I mean, the most painful.
The best.
They're the best ones
because they're like this. So I'm gonna see if I can. Maybe you guys can see it on here.
You'd like the one we've got in our gym. It's like an old Janicke. It's made by a company called Janicke, and it was like the one that Dorian has in Blood and Guts.
Can you guys see that?
Oh yeah.
Fuck me, that's stiff. That's mate. That's too
steep. That is steep.
I'd fall forward out of that.
It's like a regular squat.
Well, shit, you could do that one facing in, and you'd still be doing the same fucking hack squat, right?
I think I'm gonna buy it. It's only $1,000. It's actually, and I don't say only like it's not a lot of money, but leg equipment, Ben, you know, since you've been buying it, leg stuff is really expensive.
You know what? But the guy that does me, he's Stephen. You know Stephen James.
Yes, I was going to say he's great. Yeah,
he owns Super Gym or Super Fitness Gym equipment on Instagram. He's amazing. So hit him up. Shout out for him. But he does Flex's Gym. He does Redcon Gym, and he just has this giant warehouse. And he always finds my stuff, and he sorts me out. The shipping, oh my god,
it's killer.
Whatever it is. Add $650 to it.
Yeah.
I live in the buttfuck of nowhere. He said to me, he kills me every time I ship something to you because I get you a good deal and I don't make a lot of money on your pieces, and then I have to charge you $650 for the fucking shipping.
Yeah, I just found a place, the same thing. They want to charge me I don't know, man. It was like $1,100 for shipping, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy, man. The piece doesn't even cost that. I'm like, you're charging me more for the shipping than it is for the fucking equipment.
I actually had the seated leg curl that I bought was $750 for the equipment and $650 for the shipping.
Why does leg equipment cost so much more than everything else?
Well, for the most part, it's done by weight as well, right? And a lot of the stack, if you buy a selectorized machine, you're really going to pay a lot of money. Plate loaded is way cheaper.
Yeah, I noticed that. So I want to show you guys this actually really quick because I found this place in the US and I'm talking to him about a sponsorship for my gym.
You demanding money, are you?
No, I said, look, I'm starting a gym. Your stuff is really, really cool. I shoot a lot of YouTube videos. I could probably help you guys get a little bit of exposure.
Yeah.
So no, I don't want them to pay me. I want to see if they give me a deal on some equipment.
Yeah.
So I actually am going to give them their first little plug here. You guys check this shit out. It's actually all fabricated in the US. Like they do it themselves. The website, the Instagram is Raw Motive Works. Look at some of this stuff. Is cool as fuck. This is a lat row. You see the handles here?
Yeah.
So it's like a reverse incline kind of.
Yeah, it looks quite interesting.
It's like everything's really different. There's a really cool one. This one's this is a pec fly. Yeah.
I don't get on with those fixed pec flies.
No,
the Atlantis make one, and it always bugs my shoulder.
I just like the way the stuff looks. Like it's not like this isn't crazy different than.
It's just big and chunky, and
there's other lateral raise machines like this, but they just look really fucking cool.
Yeah, they look good.
So then they got this. I think it's a pendulum squat or something. Yeah, it's a pendulum squat. They just have a different, like a more fabricated look to them.
Yeah.
So I thought
I really want to get that. You know that the standing chest press that Dynabody make.
Listen, this one was interesting. Can you guys tell me if this one is good? It's supposed to be a lat row machine.
So it's trying to like.
So like you load the plates here, obviously, and then
it's a bit like a Panata design, but like not the same.
But I feel like with the weight being up here, I don't know if you would get the same feeling as the weight being parallel with the bar.
I'll tell you what my issue with that would be is you're fixed. You can't it's only going to move in that arc. And if that doesn't hit your back right, you're going to have to try and move closer. Or
it looks like you'd feel it a lot in upper back, not lower back. Do you know what I mean? Because of where the plates are. It's weird how that makes a difference, but it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the fixed thing because one sec. I think I got to answer this, man. This might be my order. 1 second.
Oh, go on.
Hello. Hello.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, when are you going to be here?
Do you remember when that used to be a thing when people used to prank call?
Okay.
You can't really prank call anymore.
Thanks. I used to prank call. I used to do that.
You were the little shit, were you?
Yeah. Sorry, that's the second time they've called me. It's the second time they've told me they're going to be here at 4 o'clock. I got equipment coming in today, thank God.
Nice.
Anyway, this is I don't know, but I know what you're saying about the fixed thing, Ben, but I do the fixed rows on the Smith machine sometimes and they feel good.
Right, but for me, I really have to struggle. You know, I'm a big fucking Jesse with my back. I have to fucking change shit around all the time. So I can't, like Luke would just go up and do a calf raise machine and his back would get pumped from it, right? So he couldn't miss. And I think you're the same. You feel your back on most movements, right?
Yeah.
It probably works for you.
I don't know. Some of this stuff looks really cool anyway. So hopefully I can work something out with these guys.
Like that Arsenal vertical row that came over the weekend I used yesterday. The reason I bought that is because I used it at Flex's gym with him back in like July, and I can just feel that lat.
Which one's the vertical row?
Yeah, that one, right in the middle, right in the middle, right
this
in the middle,
one.
that one. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I've never been a fan. You know, this I've never been a huge. This one looks kind of cool though with the handles like that. But
right,
yeah.
Yes, because it's the same as the hammer, right?
Yeah,
the hammer strength.
Yeah,
but those handles you can rotate them, and the seat and the pad. You can change the angle, and then the seat obviously. So it's a little more adjustable, but the grip you can rotate in.
That's funny. I should call Arsenal too. I like the way their stuff looks too. It's all chunky.
I think they're getting better as they're bringing out new generations. Like the more they do, the better they get, which is cool because they're just improving.
If you want to talk about price, fucking hell,
they're expensive.
Arsenal and Prime are insane. Because I wanted to buy a few Prime pieces.
I have a couple. Well, we know some people at Arsenal though. Maybe they'll hook us up.
Yeah. Well, I get the Flex discount, right? But it's still expensive. Because Flex is the co-owner.
What's this?
That's what I've got. That's what I've got.
As well. This is
That's what I do my chest press on.
Yeah, you can do loads of shit on that, can't you?
Yeah, she didn't come with it though, but
that's what I was wondering.
I'm a bit pissed. I'm gonna go and complain.
I like the Arsenal leg press, I have to say.
With the huge pad on it.
Yeah, the one with this. We got the one that's actually the single leg as well. So it's got the bolt that goes through.
Oh yeah,
single leg.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's really.
That's the one I like from Elite FTS makes one like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know Dave Tate's company.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they make a big one like that. I like that you can unhook it and do one leg at a time if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff, man. It's really, it's crazy. When you see gym owners go crazy on people for doing stuff in the gym, you never really understand why until you start looking at the price.
Yeah.
Dude, benches cost like $400.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like,
got fuckers wearing their jeans on there with their fucking little pimp buttons, catching it and scratching it, and they're standing on it and doing bent over rows. And
I've done stuff like step ups. You grab a couple dumbbells and you just step ups on a bench.
You should be banned from the gym.
Mate,
now I feel like I should be. I'm like, I had no idea.
Everyone out here wears work boots, right? So I'll go out in the morning and there's a fucking footprint on the benches, and I'm like, and we have a step, an adjustable height step, like the big, bulky, chunky one.
Yeah.
Like, you lazy motherfucker. And we have like 35 members, so I'm like, and we have a video camera. So Denise gets on it. She's like, I'm going to look up who it fucking is.
But maybe we should invent something between us, because like when you get the coasters for mugs that go over the arm of a sofa, like the armchair. So imagine, like you get the wooden ones that just fold over like that.
That's a good idea.
Maybe we could make something for benches that just goes over them, and then you can do your things on the bench.
Yeah, but then everybody's got to carry that around in their bag.
That's fine. Peyton,
I guess it would fold up anyway. So yeah, I guess
it would fold up. Yeah, it'd fold up. It'd be fine.
I'm sure you can get some sort of like a yoga mat technology that rolls up.
Hostile is going to come out with one next week.
It's been presented. The idea's there. Why not?
James has the intellectual property on camera.
Listen, I like this man. He can take that as long as he just remembers that I was part of the process.
Yeah, we'll put your name on it. We'll call it the shed sleeve.
The shed step.
Yeah, the shed step. There you go.
Yeah, this is it. It's done.
Anyway, so yeah, Christmas around here sucks because my wife loves Christmas and she gets all like geeked about it, and there's nobody fucking
coming around.
It's just me, her, my brother-in-law is staying here right now, so he's here. And we're like, it's just going to be a quiet fucking Christmas. And I'm like, I feel bad for her because she's like, she loves Christmas, and I'm like, well, nothing I can do about it. So I don't know.
I'm the same. I find it hard to get excited about it. I'm trying to be more so because of Phoenix now. I'm like, yay, Christmas.
Yeah, he's too young. He didn't know.
I feel sorry for Janicke. She was on the phone to her family earlier. They're all sitting around because they have their Christmas today.
Yeah.
Norway. Okay. And they're all sitting there all dressed up smart, her family sitting around a table drinking champagne, and she can only enjoy it from this side of the phone. Yeah. I was like, I feel a bit sorry for her, to be honest.
Yeah.
If she watches this, I do love her.
I got to do that with my family tomorrow. I've got to do a Zoom call with them all with Phoenix. It's my mum, it's both my parents, their first grandchild.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking kid. My mum's like destroyed. Because what makes it worse is my in-laws live next door, right?
Yeah.
So on the one hand, they don't see him, and on the other hand, my in-laws see him every single fucking day and bond with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tough times, man. Tough times.
What was I going to say? Anyway, how's everybody's training going? Ben, you're on a deload.
I'm cruise mode.
James, you're getting ready to ramp things up next week, aren't you?
I'm getting ready because my test was so low, 1.1. What are you saying, bruv? Big man. I had my blood weight. It was 1.1. My test.
What's that mean?
That means it's like lower than a woman.
Why are you? What are you waiting for?
I'm ready now. I've put my first shot of test back in. Yeah, but it's only like TRT.
Okay.
A minute. January is what I'm waiting for. All right, I'm patient.
Okay.
January 1st. Yeah, diet starts January 1st.
So January 1st. I saw your fucking pictures though, dude. You don't look like anything has changed.
I looked better than I thought. Like Louis took the picture and he went, "You still look fucking all right, mate." And I was like, "I don't feel it." So I was like, "Okay, sweet, I'll take that." So I was quite happy. But I can see it in some ways that I'm not quite where I was, but I've done a good job considering that my test levels are like less than a fucking girl.
This is insane, dude.
It's all right.
Yeah.
This is not. You're like nobody's gonna believe you're. Nobody's gonna believe you're natural.
This is on. Imagine the advert: low testosterone, and this guy pops up.
Yeah.
Like,
do you know what? The way I look, though, you need to understand how I feel. Like I'm sitting in the room with Janicke, and like I haven't even had a slight like twitch in my pants for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like literally, I'm just like I don't feel bad. I feel really good, but I feel very like.
Yeah, she's like, "Give me some," and you're like, "Show me your feet."
She's getting angry, man. Honestly, she's getting angry. Ask her. She's like, "Come on." So hopefully that'll be sorted soon. But yeah.
So no, seriously though, how do you look like that without any gear or any fucking? You're still eating all your meals, but you're eating like cheat meals and shit too, and you still look shredded.
I think literally with me, as long as I keep 20 to 30 minutes of cardio in a day, and when I have a meal off, it's like once every other to third day, and it's only one meal, and I don't go crazy, I kind of get away with it. I vary things depending on what I've eaten. So let's say I have had some shit food, I will probably train harder the next day just to try and compensate.
Yeah.
And then if I've eaten clean for a few days, my training's probably a little bit flatter. Like I just kind of have this instinct knowing when to kind of change things depending on how fat I've been.
Do you lower your other meals when you have, like, if you're going to have, let's say you're going to have KFC today for dinner, you lower your other meals a little bit or no?
So let's say I had KFC, and I ate, like, if I knew realistically I've eaten 2 meals worth of food, then that will count for 2 meals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I don't mind doing that.
So like if your 4th meal, you eat KFC and you have like a lot of fucking food.
That'll be my last meal today. Yeah. Could be
you'll skip all of them.
No, to be fair, I'll skip 4. So 4 and 5 would be that one meal, and then I'll just have my last meal. Yeah, that's kind of how I do it.
Huh. Yeah. That kind of goes against what me and Ben were just saying earlier. Is that we try and like, and I actually end up doing what you're saying, James, but I don't feel like it's a good thing. I feel like I try and make my cheat meal small enough so that I can still get my next meal in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not bad because I did that last night.
Yeah.
I did that last night. I had a medium pizza last night with some wedges because I felt really ill. I actually felt sick last night. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes when you just need something stodgy food-wise. Yeah. So I had a pizza last night. It was only the normal size meal. So I didn't cut any of my meals out. I still had my normal meals.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was an extra large,
I feel like I need to up my cheat meal game. I text Patrick earlier. I was like, "Can I add beetroot to my pre-workout meal?" And he's like, "If you want, yeah." I'm like, "Fucking hell, I'm gonna go and eat pancakes now. Fuck this."
You know what, Ben? No, I know as soon as January here, he ain't even gonna fucking let me have an extra fucking gram of potato. Like,
well, I was telling Fouad earlier, we were supposed to go for pancakes tomorrow morning. And I'm like, "I'm just going to have the one meal off tomorrow." Patrick goes, "Just don't pretend I don't exist tomorrow. I don't want to argue with you. I'll talk to you on Saturday."
Well, that's the thing with Patrick. He'd rather you just like disappear for a day. And then
that's what he said.
Yeah, he doesn't like to hear, like, so when you go to tell Patrick what you've had as a cheat meal, he's like, "Don't tell me."
I could have done that. I should go back to work with him then. I just won't talk to him every day.
Yeah, just radio silence.
Yeah, you would actually probably only talk to him once a week.
Once a week, yeah. No,
yeah.
I did the podcast with Chad yesterday, and it was funny. We were reminiscing a little bit about my diets, and I forgot how much fucking I used to eat, and that's why I eat the way I eat now, because Chad's philosophy was always like kind of like me and Luke used to talk about. It was like 80-20. Like it was like get your diet right, but then eat whatever the fuck you want on top of it.
Yeah,
like it always.
I think it was a bit like that. I think
it always worked for me. It always. Yeah. It didn't. I didn't mind getting a little bit fat and shit in the off season.
Listen, if you've got the ability to pull it in and rein it in when it comes showtime, and as long as you haven't under-eaten in the off season, because that's the issue. Is if you don't put on muscle in the off season, it was a wasted off season. But because I say all the time, but Sasan used to always say it. Like he'd always overeat in the off season, get fat, and then fucking put it in. I'm not saying I could do that because I'd find it very hard to get the wheel spinning again. But if you can get the wheel spinning again, then I can't see why it would be. It's not the worst thing.
See, for
I
me,
find that works for the bigger guy. If you've got genuine muscle, like
Luke,
you can get away. You can get away with more.
Yeah.
I have no problem getting lean. Like even Chad was saying on the podcast, is like your metabolism's faster than most guys. And I have no problem getting shredded. But I think there's two things where you can go wrong. I think if you like you said, James, I think if you undereat, that's probably the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
But I think a very, very close second is if you take what I'm saying and take it to extreme and get really fat.
Yes.
Because then when people say like, oh, you have to diet all that fat off, that's when you're going to lose muscle. If you have too much fat and then you have to diet really hard, you're going to start stripping away muscle.
The other thing as well is you got to remember, is a lot of the people you're talking about, and yourself included, train properly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you're training properly and you're recruiting muscle properly, again, it's giving you more that metabolic turnover, right? It's higher.
Yeah.
And you find a lot of guys that don't know how to train properly will adopt your style of eating, and it doesn't work.
So they're not. So what you're saying is they're not training hard enough, but they're eating what I'm eating, but they're not training like I'm training.
Right.
Yeah.
I know they're eating hard and they're taking drugs hard, but then they don't train to match it. And it's like you got to put all three of them.
One of the things I like that Chad said was it gives you, first of all, gives you a little bit of a mental break, like being able to eat whatever you want in the off season, not whatever you want, but being able to have some, if you want it in the off season. And he goes, secondly, it makes it a lot easier to diet, which I kind of agree with.
You just put it away and then you're clean, and that's calories pulled.
Yeah. Like when I start my diets, I always the first thing I do is before I change anything, all I do is pull the junk food out. Once I pull the junk food out, it's like 10 pounds just goes away. It's like I've already started the process. You know what I mean? I get rid of all that water, start to get leaner.
But the argument to that is, well, if you didn't have all that junk food in, you don't have that extra 10 pounds of junk weight, which is causing blood pressure and etc. All those other issues. Well, and you start your diet 2 weeks later because you haven't got to spend the 2 weeks putting the shit off.
Totally.
That's where it comes down to this.
No, that totally makes sense, and I'm not going to dispute that. Yeah. My personal opinion, though, is, and this could be wrong, but I just haven't seen it too often. I don't see guys gain tons of muscle without putting on, without eating a lot of calories. Like most people, unless you're genetically gifted, have to overeat a little bit to be able to put on some serious mass.
Yeah. That's when I wish Patrick said that's what you need to do, James.
Well, I mean, James, you did though. I mean, you got to.
I have.
Think about it. Everybody says you stayed lean, and of course you're going to look lean because you have so much muscle. But
you really have to lose 40 pounds.
Yeah, you got up to 305. That's not. You lost 40 pounds. I always lost the most. My average was 40, sometimes 45, but usually around. I remember
40. You said you lost 70 or some shit.
Well, there was one, but that was my second year. I was stupid. I was just
I agree. I think most bigger guys, you're losing 30, 40, 45 pounds.
Yeah. If somebody tells me they lost 20 pounds in a prep, I'm like, oh, they must have started really lean.
Yes, definitely.
Or you had a short off season and went again,
You know what a lot of that is? I think a lot of that comes down to visceral fat.
Okay.
I think the internal fat is where someone can look pretty lean in the off season on the outside.
Yeah.
And for the majority of their prep, yes, they are losing subcutaneous, sub-Q fat.
Yeah.
But if they're someone that's genetically holding a lot of visceral fat, they could lose 10 to 15 pounds internally.
Yeah.
And look the same on the outside. And I think I'm one of those people, definitely.
Sure.
But that's where my point comes. And I'm just devil's advocate in it, right?
So, of course. Yeah.
I agree that there are multiple ways to do everything.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, visceral fat is the dangerous fat to accumulate, right? That's the stuff that's going to give you heart attacks and diabetes, and that's the stuff you probably don't want to be gaining.
I do want to say this one thing though, again, and this is the one thing I will say about my strategy and what, say, Patrick does. I think Patrick's way is a lot healthier because it's like what you said, Ben. I think when you're carrying a lot of fat, your blood pressure is going to be higher. It's harder on the body. So I do agree that it's probably a healthier way to do it if you have the genetics to do it and stay lean and be able to monitor everything all the way through, and you have the discipline to do it. Then I think that's the way, though.
It's much harder because I've done the Luke and you diet, right? And That's pretty stress-free. You can operate normally. You can have a social life. You can do
quite
things.
fun.
Yeah, this way of doing things, and I do have to be conscious of my health because of my, the kidney concern. So I do want to do things. I'm just experimenting with it. I'm like, okay, let's just see how healthy I can stay and see how much tissue I can put on while staying within that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's healthier, but it's harder.
It's definitely harder because most guys don't want to be on a contest diet all year round. And that's pretty much what you're on. You're on a contest diet all year round. You just increase the levels of food.
Well, I said this to Denise because she was like, I thought you weren't going to do a show next year. I'm like, well, a lot has changed and I may or may not, but it's no different. I'm still doing cardio in the morning. I'm still prepping my meals.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's just my meals are slightly bigger, like you said. Actually, I haven't come off of a prep really.
But I want to say, I do want to preface it with, like, I don't want to make it sound like my diet is like do whatever you want. Like, it's still it's still the same level of prep work. Like, when I say it's 80-20, this is what I mean. I'm going to have the same 6 meals you have, but if one day I'm like, you know what, I feel like having 5 guys for my 5th meal, I'm going to go get a couple burgers and I'm going to have that instead.
Or you'll finish your meal and you'll have like a couple of cookies.
Or I'll eat a meal and I'm like, you know what, I'm still hungry. I'm going to go smash a bag of rice cakes or something. Like, that's really what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, I took a whole day off and just fucking went to the buffet. Like, I don't want people to get that idea from what I'm saying, because that's not what I'm talking about.
To be fair, that's kind of how I am over the December period anyway. Yeah. Like even with Patrick, like I'm kind of like, I'm not like it every day, but maybe every 3rd day or something, I'll be like, fancy something, I'll have it because I know the time's going to come where you can't.
I see what I find difficult. And I'm like this with every facet of life. I'm all or nothing.
Yeah.
And if I listen to you guys talking about chocolate, right?
You're gonna go get some.
And you were like, once you pop, you can't stop, right?
You can't put it down.
If I have a little extra with my pre-workout meal, I go, well, I'll just have a little extra with every meal, and then tomorrow I'll have my rest day diet and let the water come off. And like, if I do that, that's just my mentality. I've got to be, I'm black or white. I've got to be here or here.
But that to me, what I'm doing is black and white, because I'm either dieting or I'm doing like this strategy where I have whatever I want. But when I say whatever I want, I just want people to know it's not
every meal.
It's like what you're talking about right now, James. That's pretty much my whole off season.
Yeah.
I have my set diet, but if I want to go for fucking a burger, I go for a burger. If I want, you know what I mean? But
that's what I mean. I'd have a burger every day.
Yeah, so you go way overboard.
Well, that's what I mean. I'll be like, oh well, I've already eaten shit for 3 days. I'll still have all my meals, but every day I'll now have pancakes every day for breakfast.
You know what? People fall into that rut. So I know people who try and do like what I do. And they're the same way you're talking about. They're like, well, I had a burger yesterday, so I'm gonna have a burger today. And the next day they're like, well, and then they start making it sound like it's justified. They're like, well, I got to get the calories in. I need extra calories, so they'll have like pancakes and all that. And I'm like, that's not how it is.
Well, I did it this last off season, so a year ago when I got back, James, from when I remember last December we were going for fucking fry ups. Me, you, and
Yep.
Right. And I was up at 290. I was up at 290 there. And I got back here and I had that low-fat pancake mix. So my breakfast for 3 months straight was 6 pancakes with sugar-free syrup. And then I'd do egg whites, whole eggs, and some turkey bacon.
But is that bad, though? That doesn't sound bad.
Right, that's what I mean. But
that's not that's not junk food to me. Like,
no, but I look like a bag of shit for it, even though it's just the quality of food, right? The pancake mix,
Yeah, well, you can get good pancake mix, but like, let me ask you this, James and Ben, more so James, because you're enormous. No offense, Ben, but James is a little thicker. So, but let me ask you this: do you think Patrick's diet works for you better because you did have all those shitty off seasons? Like when you were growing, you weren't doing this kind of diet. You were doing my kind of diet.
I think Patrick's diet works for me well because what it's done is those diets worked in the beginning, but what probably happened is I started to blunt my own sensitivity because I've done them so many times.
Agreed.
So then when I do Patrick's, everything's restored.
I know that.
Yeah. So now I'm fresh.
No. Okay, wait. I should rephrase it. I'm not trying to say Patrick's
diet did work.
I'm not trying to say Patrick's diet doesn't work. Please, nobody take that from this.
No, I know that totally. I know that. I think it came at the right time.
No, I think Patrick's a genius. That's not at all what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is it's kind of like when people lift really, really heavy their whole career and then they start lifting lighter and then they start telling people to lift light. And I'm like, yeah, wait a minute, but you did all those heavy fucking squats and shit to get those legs. And now you're telling people to do lunges. So I'm like, I wonder to myself sometimes, was it those bulking off seasons that got you this big?
I think it was the off seasons I did with like Jordan at the time and stuff, where I was kind of when I adopted progressive overload and I did eat a shitload of food. Yeah, I did. I haven't really had many, to be fair, I haven't had many messy off seasons. When I say messy, I mean unorganized for a long time. Probably haven't had that since like 2014 or something.
But wait a minute, mine are organized, but I'm saying like, were your off seasons like, were you getting fatter, I guess is all I'm trying to say.
I haven't for a long time, have I?
See, I've known James for a while, right? And this is why when I spoke to him about Patrick, I'm like, not a lot in his application is different.
Yeah.
Because he's been a maniac for years.
Yeah.
Right. And so a lot of people are thinking, oh, James got with Patrick and then James got strict and tight with everything.
No. That's not what I'm
he's
saying.
been.
No, you don't, but people do. Yeah.
I'm saying James has been like on the fucking hard, straight path for years.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm getting at is, did JP have more of that 80-20 style?
No, he's strict with food.
He was still strict with his food as well. Okay.
Speak to Jordan, and you don't let none of his clients have a meal off.
Really?
Yeah, he will feed, but the thing with him, he will make you eat a shitload.
So you're the first. You're the first person. It's weird. It's like we're trying to like measure. So you're eating clean, but you're still putting on 40 pounds of excess.
Yeah, because I think, again, I was more into the insulin use as well back then.
Yeah, but even last year you didn't use insulin. You still put on 40 pounds.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because it's funny, even with that variable.
Even
I'm wondering. I'm trying to like work it out as well.
I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm trying to kind of give the audience an idea for themselves so they can consider what might work for them, right?
Well, I think it just shows that regardless of what surplus you're in, whether it's a clean one or not, you're going to lose 40 fucking pounds.
But I think in saying that, though, Ben already established the fact that it's going to be healthier if it's clean food. And if the food's cleaner, I know people don't like that term, but if the food's cleaner, it's going to be more quality, which is probably going to be better for performance.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Go on, Ben. Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
The word performance was everything that was coming to mind when you're saying that.
Yeah.
But my performance over the last year has been what's been excellent, and that's down to the food being really, really regimented.
You know what? I think that's the word that's missing when people have this discussion, because people always talk about weight and condition. How fat was he? How much did he weigh? All this stuff. But people don't generally talk about how good was his training.
Yeah.
So like if you're eating, so basically what I'm trying to say is, if like Ben, you're saying you're eating those pancakes every day and shit, right?
Oh, I feel sluggish and shit.
Yeah. If you feel shitty in the gym and you're not performing well, then it doesn't fucking matter. But if you can eat those pancakes and you're still performing at a high level, you know what I mean? Then maybe it's okay. So it just depends on you as a person.
Well, to go back to what I was going to say a minute ago, I had my blood work taken again. I got back from Olympia on Monday. I had my blood work taken on Tuesday. So I've been in my off season now for 6 weeks. I had my blood work taken 6 weeks ago, and then I went onto a cycle. Fuck it, I don't care. I was doing 500 tests, 600 primo, and 300 masteron, right?
Okay.
My cholesterol is better. It's improved.
Yeah.
My liver enzymes are nearly down. They're all down to 50. They're at 50 now. And all my kidney values are stable because they're not going to improve because issues. So all of my numbers have improved, and I've been pretty tight with my diet.
That's great.
My weight is going up, and I'm running a decent cycle.
Yeah.
So I've improved my numbers whilst being on a cycle because my diet has been so tight.
Can I tell you something absolutely crazy that you're probably not going to believe? So I did blood work about 3 weeks ago, and my kidney values were better. So that's why I'm still training and now considering actually competing. And my nephrologist is like, I don't know how you did it, but your kidney levels are better, and let's just try and keep them here. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, fuck it, I want them to get even better. But I didn't test, like when my doctor gave me the requisition, it didn't have cholesterol and all that on it. It was just like the kidney values. But apparently he said, like, when they do the test, they do the other testing. They just don't give it to you. Like, I'll tell you how I found that out. So I went for a stress test. I like to get a yearly check on my heart, right?
Yeah.
So I go see the cardiologist, have a stress test. They put me on the treadmill. I'm like, walking on a fucking huge incline, whatever. They check my heart, all this shit. The nurse, before I did the stress test, is going over all my shit. She shows me my blood work. She goes, these are your kidney numbers, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I know. I check it on my phone. And she goes, well, this is your cholesterol. Your cholesterol's perfect. I'm like, how is that possible? And she goes, well, it's just my HDL was like good. My LDL was good. I'm like, how is that possible? I was eating like McDonald's every other fucking day back then. I don't know how.
I'm thinking, oh fuck, he's now going to eat more McDonald's now.
No. I'm just wondering though, like in that period of time after the show, when I got out of the show, I was eating a lot of crap because I was like kind of bummed out about the show, and I was like whatever, and I was eating whatever the fuck I wanted, and my cholesterol was good, my sugar was good. My kidney levels went up. I'm like, how does any of this fucking make sense?
You're taking that new...
Yeah,
that,
but I hadn't started that. Well, no, actually, I did start that. I'd started that about 2 or 3 weeks before my blood panel.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. So I don't know. I'm going to go back again in like probably 3 more weeks or 4 more weeks for another test to see. What was your blood work, James? I saw your video went up.
Mate, I would share it on here if I knew fucking out, because then you could have a look.
What did you? But overall, it was good. There was nothing bad.
Everything's in range, like everything. Literally, it's just my test is crushed. Obviously, liver. I think liver values are slightly elevated, but that's because obviously I'm getting a lot of protein degradation right now, where I'm not on cycle.
Yeah.
So protein's breaking down. Obviously, that's just going to happen because I'm still training as well, especially. But other than that, listen, everything was in range.
Yeah, but like your liver enzymes, like
that's normal.
If they're 60, 70, 80, it's like
yeah. I don't know the exact numbers off my head, but it's on my phone, and obviously I'm on my phone doing this. But I would have I'll send them across to you like another time, and then when we do another episode, we can pan them up and people can have a look. I don't know
if you want, yeah.
But everything was good, and I was really happy with that. What did I think was going to be off? There wasn't really anything I was considering being off, because I felt like this year working with Patrick, all of my supplementation and nutrition was in such a good place. I didn't really expect anything to be off apart from test. Which proved to be the case anyway. So yeah, everything's good. It means that I can go into 2020 now, and I'm like 2021, and be like, yep, sweet. I can give it some money.
Go hard,
like to a certain extent.
Yeah, are you guys? Is your red blood cell count always in check, or are you guys a little bit elevated?
Mine was actually in range, but I think he said it would be normal if it was elevated.
Yeah, mine was a little elevated. My doctor's like always like it's fine.
Yeah,
it's like a little elevated. It's not like crazy, but he always looks at it and he's like, "You're good. Don't worry about it."
Well, that's pretty much what my doctor said as well.
But I asked him about like giving blood. I'm like, should I give blood like to get my red blood cell count, blah blah? And he's like, it's not high enough. He's like, don't worry about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
my RBC and then all my iron is always off because I have beta thalassemia. It's hereditary, so my numbers on my red blood count are always like skewed.
Yeah. Do you find that it helps because you do your own bloodletting or whatever you call it?
That's only for hematocrit, but then if you look at like my MCH and MCV, they're always low, and then like the width is always small of my red blood cells, because my body doesn't just my body basically beta thalassemia. I don't make a red blood cell like normal. Okay. It has less iron on it, so I have less oxygen carrying capacity in my blood. So I run about 15% anemic all year, or for like the whole time. And there's not a lot you can do about it. So
how does that affect you, like how day to day? Do you feel anything different?
I get tired like quicker, like more fatigued quicker. Like I remember having tests done when I was about 14, 15, because I was like at school and be exhausted, like just like real tired, and then my cardio capacities takes a hit because I don't carry oxygen around.
But I thought when you were doing your prep, you started taking carnitine, I think.
Cardarine,
that's cardarine, that's it, because you said it was helping with your endurance.
I did feel whether it's placebo or what, I remember taking it early on and was like, holy shit,
but the reason I brought it up is that something you can just stay on or no?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's been researched well enough at the athletic level to be for long enough for anyone to. It supposedly improves cholesterol. It improves this. A lot of these SARMs all do.
I think JP told me that about the cholesterol.
supposedly I'm now just at the point where I'm like, I'd rather just take less things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I know what you mean about that. I just mean because if you're naturally, I don't know, sluggish, or if naturally have less endurance, I wonder if you could just take that to counter it.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't hurt you, you know what I mean? Doesn't hurt your blood work or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys want to get to some questions?
One thing. Did you say Dave? Did you see Dave Palumbo got upset with me?
Well, what happened? People
he's
are
done a whole 20-minute. He's done a whole 20-minute video responding to.
What did you say to piss him off?
So I did a video, my blood work video,
the
one that you've just seen briefly, and my doctor Matt obviously doesn't think very highly of Dave, and brought his name up in the conversation very briefly, which I didn't even really pay attention to.
Yeah.
And then my following statement was, it's all bollocks. So obviously now Dave thinks I think everything he says is all bollocks, but I don't think that. I like Dave, and Dave was one of the first people to give me an interview ever, even when I was an amateur. So, we're all in this industry together. But I think he's given me a few more views on my videos. Thank you, Dave.
Did he like go after you, or you just say what you said was wrong?
I don't know. I didn't watch the video because I don't really pay attention because I'm.
I didn't get a fucking video made about me when we had our issue.
I don't know.
Racist.
Ben, leave it alone.
That's what it is. But anyway, I just wanted to clear up. I don't think anything bad of him. He has his ways, I have my ways.
I don't think Dave ever attacks anybody unless they attack him first. So he probably.
Yeah, I don't think it was an attack. But...
Yeah, the video is probably just a correction instead of a. Yeah. Look, man. I think one thing everybody, and I have a disclaimer at the beginning of these videos now, right? Like at the beginning of all these podcasts now, I have a disclaimer.
Yeah.
And the disclaimer is there because I think some people think we're doctors or some shit. And we're just explaining, like, I'm going to leave you out, Ben, because Ben, you actually have a degree in shit. And
I'm not a doctor.
I know, but I just like, I'm okay. I'm going to
some qualifications.
Okay. I'm going to speak for myself, and then you guys can tell me if you agree. I'm just telling people what I did and what worked for me.
Yeah.
I'm not prescribing anything. I'm not telling people fucking this is the best way. I know everything. I'm not doing that. This whole podcast, any video I do when I talk about shit, it's just what worked for me.
Yeah.
Or what may have worked for some clients that I've worked with. That's it.
Even when I'm dealing with a client, I always say, if I was you, this is what I would do. Yeah. I don't go, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put a disclaimer at the beginning of the videos now because I'm like, look, this way, nobody's going to like be like, well, you said that this and this is God. And I'm like, no. These are just my opinions.
Yeah.
It's from my own personal experience. I'm not a fucking scientist.
Yeah.
So Dave does have a medical degree, I think.
Oh, he knows a lot of shit.
No, but I mean, I think he actually has a medical degree.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, he's probably just correcting what you. I don't think he. I don't.
Yeah.
Think,
I'll tell you what I said. I said that I used to use insulin a lot. Yeah. I don't really use it much anymore because I feel like the excuse for insulin is that people want to overeat and use it to compensate for that, which is the wrong way. Which is the wrong way to approach insulin.
Yeah,
it's to be supplemented. Ben, you always had the right approach to insulin. I felt, which was you use it in accordance to your existing diet rather than adding food to your diet to use insulin. So I basically said that's why I don't like people trying to fucking overuse insulin in order to eat 100 grams more or whatever. And then I think that got misplaced out of hand or some shit. So you
said you don't think people should be taking insulin so they could cram in more food.
Basically, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah, but then I think there was a statement or something like, because I said, it wasn't. I don't mind people trying to use insulin to help with taking stress off the pancreas if that works. Yeah, my doctor didn't agree. He said that. He said that's bollocks, and it came just after what I said. And I think Dave heard that and thought that was my opinion.
I see.
It's not my opinion because from people that have helped me in the past, they didn't mind supplementing insulin to allow for some.
So your second statement was, I think it's okay if it helps you take pressure off your own pancreas.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying that because I know that's what it does, because I don't know if that's what it does.
No,
but I was always, if that's the reason, at least you have a valid reason.
Yeah, I think that makes total sense also.
Yeah, and then my doctor doesn't believe that's the case.
So your doctor
said that's bullshit.
So your doctor.
So my doctor's got me in fucking trouble.
Your doctor threw in Dave Palumbo's name and got you in shit.
So they should do a video about each other now.
Dave should do a video about your doctor, not about you.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all love, man. Like I say, and I don't mind.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I know. I hear you, man. Okay, let's get to some questions. Let me see here. Go back to top comments. When did you realize you had the potential to be a good pro bodybuilder?
Thanks. Mine wasn't
Sorry, Ben's
Ben.
just realizing it now.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Fouad. Mine wasn't until I won a show, the pro show, because you're always wondering until you win a pro show.
I don't think so for me. I think for me,
you knew before, did you?
I didn't know before. I really felt like I didn't know if I would ever be the right size, but I felt like I had the right structure. I think in 2011 is when I finally knew, like when I beat Dennis Wolf and I was standing up there, like, even though Dennis was off, like I had beat Ben Pekulski also, and Ben was a really good bodybuilder. And I was standing up there with those guys, and I've showed the comparison before, and I looked like I compared. I was like, I think I can be good. And then, you know, it's weird. Your career sometimes can go like this. So like I had a peak, and then it kind of dipped, and then it peaked again. Right. And I'm like, so I think it might've been sooner than that. I think it was 2008 when I qualified for the Olympia.
Yeah, to be fair, that's enough to fucking make you think you can be good, really. Let's be honest.
Well, it depends. You have to also quantify what being good means. You have to, because for some people being good is top 20 in the world. For some people being good is top 5. Like everybody has different aspirations. So
what was yours?
You know, I said this in a previous podcast, and I think it was a very wrong way to think. I never ever dreamt I could win an Olympia or an Arnold. Like I think I said I want to win the Arnold once, but it was like bullshit. Like I didn't really actually believe it. But I always knew I could win a small show. I'm like, that was always my goal after I turned pro. I'm like, I want to win a small show.
And do you know what's funny? Can I just say this for that? It's like the way that you perceive them as a small show, but there's so many people out there that perceive them as a big show. I know what you mean. Yeah. Because in the scheme of the pro league. Yeah. But to them, if they could win, say, the Toronto Pro, that would be life made.
Crazy, but I guess the point I'm trying to make though is I should have set my sights higher. Because I achieved. It's like this. Like, tell me if this makes sense. I think you achieve whatever the fuck you set your mind to.
You do,
whether it's good or bad.
That's what I was about to ask. I was about to ask, if you'd have set yourself higher, do you think you would have achieved higher?
That's what I'm trying to say. I think I didn't expect enough from myself. Like I didn't believe in myself enough to say I could be top 3 at the Arnold, or even though at the time, like I remember at the time doing 2011, 2012, 2013, people would put me in the top 3, top 6 of the Arnolds, but I could never do it myself. And I think my career dictated that's what happened. My career, I won a small show, but I never landed in those spots because I think I put my own limitations on myself.
It's that whole saying, isn't it? If you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right.
It's true. Yeah.
It's that whole. So you know what I mean. This conversation actually. You know what? I'm now realizing when I thought I could be okay, actually, is when I got 3rd in Spain first. Josh and Akim beat me, but I beat Raf and I beat Essam Obeid. So I beat 2 people that I looked up to.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, fuck. Like I didn't ever think I could beat them too. And that made me realize that I could probably be all right.
Yeah.
So it's when you're among the people that you were looking at like, wow, then they're untouchable.
But it's weird because people would listen to this and think, well, why didn't you just tell yourself you'd win the Olympia? It's like, it's not something you can fake.
No.
If you don't believe it, like actually believe it, you never, and it sounds so cheesy, like believe to achieve. But I mean, like, I think if you can't see it in your head, like I could like if I went to bed at night and went to bed, I could picture myself winning a smaller show.
Yeah.
I could never even dream of winning the Arnolds or dream of winning the fucking Olympia. So it wasn't even in my conscience.
You know, after Luke got 3rd at the Arnold, I was sending pretty much every week. I'd send him the same meme, which was the Morpheus meme, where it says he's beginning to believe. Right? I'd get him ready for the Olympia. I'd start sending him that.
Yeah,
because
that's fucking cool.
It was like that. I mean, the Matrix is I've got a hard on for the Matrix anyway, but I wanted him to start. He was so sick of everyone else seeing it, and then he started like you said, like what James said, he got 3rd at the Arnold and beat all these people that like he beat Cedric and Cooklow and Cedric, and then he came off stage. I think that James said that moment of realization where you tell yourself I belong, and then you believe you belong. It's 2 different things.
Okay,
right?
so I'll tell you what happened to me though. So 2008, I qualified for the Olympia, and going back to this question, that's when I started to believe I'm like I could be a good pro.
Did you win? Did you qualify on points or
no? Back then you could qualify top 3. So I took third.
Okay, that's what
I took third. Yeah. So I took third in Dallas, Europa. I qualified for the O. I go to the Olympia. I'm like, I suck balls at the Olympia, right? I'm like, I'm the smallest guy there. I take last. So anyway, I start working with Hani. I get pretty good. And then I do well at the Flex Pro. And I'm like, my belief gets better. I'm like, I think I can fucking do really well in this like pro league. But then you hit a couple bad shows. And I think I just kept getting seconds and thirds in the smaller shows.
Yeah.
And the pressure from the Arnolds always got to me. So I wouldn't do well at the Arnolds. And then it starts to fuck with your belief system.
Of course.
Because you start going like this, like you start doing well at shows and your belief is going up and up and up. Like imagine Luke took 8th at the Arnolds.
Yeah.
His belief, but sometimes you need a trigger for your belief to skip over, right?
Oh, absolutely. So, definitely.
So like if you walk in, like if I would have thought to myself, oh, I think I could be good. And then all of a sudden I take 2nd or 3rd at the Arnold, then it almost like cements your belief.
It's confirmation, right?
Yeah. And then you can go, and then you can start to believe even more.
Yeah, of course.
So I never got that next step where I could believe even further, right? I just, every time I did the Arnolds, the pressure would get to me and I would fuck up my prep or something. So, anyway, we went way off topic,
No, but it makes sense. It's like you've just proven there exactly what we're trying to say is that it's a continuous step thing. And unless you get given a sign to continuously believe, it can stop there. You have to, because I was thinking the same.
Well, because I mean, belief in itself is not enough. Like you can sit at home and be like, I can be Mr. Olympia, and you can believe it to your fucking core, but you also need a confirmation of some sort.
Yeah, a physical confirmation to then go belief again. And it's just this, isn't it? All the way up to the top.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes though, when you see somebody like a Phil Heath or a Flex Lewis or like I wonder sometimes if their belief was like that from the very beginning. Like I wonder.
They done well in their first show, didn't they?
No, but I mean, like even before, let's say like I won my first show, but I still didn't believe I could be Mr. Olympia. But what I'm saying is, do you think the people that reach the very pinnacle have a stronger belief from day one?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, put it this way. I was with Hunter the morning after the Olympia.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this. That's the first show he's not won. That's his 7th ever show ever.
Yeah.
Second pro show, he won Tampa, does the Olympia and gets 8th. Yeah. How do you not believe in yourself when everything you do is a home run, right?
Yeah.
Like you're getting that confirmation every time.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a show.
But I wonder, but that's exactly my point is I wonder, did Hunter have the belief even before the confirmations? Like, I think what I'm trying to say is I think some people...
Chicken and egg, right?
Yeah, it is. But I think some people get the confirmation and it keeps them moving forward. And what I wonder sometimes is that the people at the very, very top, like the cream of the crop, like the Jay Cutlers and do those guys have it way before? And that's why they're able to skyrocket to that place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe that's the key to
that success.
Yeah.
I mean, I all I can say is from knowing Hunter for the last 2 or 3 years, the self-belief is there.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know when that came in. You're right. But I'll tell you this now, if anyone is going to go all the way to the top, he has the mindset that will do it.
I can hear it in the podcast. Like when I do a podcast with him, I can clearly hear it. Like you can.
And he's not in a rush. He's just like, it will happen.
Yeah. And
his mindset blew me away. His mindset blew me away. I even said on one of my videos, I was like, if there's one person out there that I can smell the hunger.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he has a team of his family, his friends, and around him. If I'm backing any horse in the next 5 years that wasn't Luke.
You forgot James.
I'm coming for Hunter.
Your friends.
Listen, he's neighbors with Hunter.
That's all I'm saying. That's so funny. Like your friend's sitting right there. You're like, if I got one.
No. I'm saying, if anyone's can be Mr. Olympia in the next, I think Hunter's trajectory at the minute is on to be winner of Mr. Olympia, right?
I think James has the same trajectory. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just saying.
No, I do think. I think in the next 5 years you're going to be talking about Hunter, Ian, James battling it out. Yeah. It's going to be those boys. I do agree.
Yeah. I'm going to face a better Ian this year.
I think right now, and I said, because the guys asked me, they called me at 4 a.m. to go for IHOP, right? So I jump in a fucking Uber. They're all wasted.
Yeah.
And I get there, and Brian, who actually prepped Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter. Yeah.
He said to me, "Imagine he's not here. What do you think of the results?" And I said, "Well, structurally." And they only cared about Ian, right? There was that little battle.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I'm friends with both these fuckers. So
yeah.
And I'm like, honest opinion, Ian, and I was 2 rows back, right?
Yeah.
Ian nailed it.
I was like, Ian's condition was untouchable.
Yeah. That's what Chad. I talked to Chad about it. That's what Chad said too.
But Hunter's structure,
Science,
it's the same thing that everyone. The same thing everyone would say about Luke, right? Because Luke would win shows as an amateur coming up and not be in the best shape. He's just a better bodybuilder.
Yeah, just physique.
I'm like, I see all of that structure in Hunter.
Yeah.
I don't see the same thing. I see a lot of it.
No. I'm not
comparing. You're not comparing. Yeah.
I'm saying a similar argument of Hunter's structure is very nice.
I will say this, and this is just being objective. I think Hunter's a great bodybuilder. I will say this: if Hunter's going to ever achieve top 3 status, he's got to develop his back more. That's the only thing.
He's obsessed with his back now because he got off stage and was like, my back was terrible.
Yeah, it was the only thing.
Terrible. I'm ad-libbing, but he was like, they are on a mission for his back.
Yeah,
that's their focus.
Yeah, because that's the only place I could see any weakness, and I think that's the place where he lost it. I know Ian was in better condition, but I think had Hunter had a better back, I think he might have beat Ian even with the conditioning.
It's just that depth. He doesn't have that density in his back. Yeah, I agree. And they agree, which I'm like, that's good. They objectively look at Hunter and they're breaking him down and saying what needs work.
Yeah, because Ian's back was very improved actually in density, I thought.
Well, I think, I don't think Ian built any muscle necessarily between. I think they've just filled him out more.
Yeah, it looked more.
Yeah, and he was more conditioned, so everything just looked better.
Yeah.
I think he was the same weight, right? But in the same condition.
250.
Told me.
So
like he is slightly bigger than
maybe got bigger. Yeah.
Only like a pound or 2, but on stage the condition really it was.
Man, I could listen. I wasn't there. I was doing a live stream here, and I'm like, you could see it.
You'll see it.
He had like this really, James, you were doing with me. What am I talking about? We were talking about the same thing you're saying, Ben. We were saying Hunter's got the structure, Ian's got the prep. Like he just looked prepped better.
Polished.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
polished, man.
Okay, so we just spent 20 minutes on one question. So going well.
It's going really great. I'm going to quickly.
That's normal. That's what we do.
As I do. I'll be right back.
Okay. Most annoying cardio equipment. What's the most annoying cardio equipment? This is a quick one. We can do with James not here. What's the one you
used it?
What's the one you hate the most?
The stairs, but I also love it.
I love the stairs.
Yeah, but I hate it. Fucking replaced, improved, upgraded.
Janicke,
upgraded.
How are you?
Merry Christmas. This is a bit bright.
Do you want to just join us sometimes? You just set up another chair?
No, just leave James off.
You're drinking a glass of wine. What time is it there? Like 6 o'clock?
I've
British
had a
people
bottle
drink
of
early.
champagne.
Do you drink a lot?
The red wine.
Do you drink a lot? Do you drink a lot or no?
No, I never drink.
So just because it's Christmas?
Only when there's a reason.
But do you make your own reasons?
Wait, in England.
No, I don't like any. I don't like any British ways. No, obviously 24th is Christmas Day for Norwegian people.
Oh, okay.
Myself.
Yeah.
So I've just been on a like video call with my family and toasted in champagne.
Yeah. So
that was a reason.
Okay.
And now I'll kind of eat my own Christmas dinner on my own and drinking red wine.
Are you an easy drunk? Like, do you get drunk really quickly or no?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I do get tipsy.
You got a little.
I don't get drunk.
No.
She says that she's slurring her words.
I know.
I do have a question. James wants to know, or we want to know, why you're not showing your feet as much to James right now.
Yeah, he feels like a little neglected.
He said
they're not Christmas socks.
Okay.
Are they Christmas socks?
Yeah, of course.
Where's the Christmas? They just look like flowers or bunnies.
Oh, they're ginger. Are they gingerbread?
They're gingerbread men. Yeah, and candy canes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you off.
Are you making a lot of junk food for Christmas or no?
No, I'm going to do a turkey crown.
Okay.
I'm going to dress it in bacon.
Oh,
sounds
nice.
a bit bad.
Yeah.
And we got a like a ham that I'm going to roast with, I think it's like blackberry and rum glaze.
Yeah.
Is the Norwegian Christmas dinner the same, or is it different?
No,
What do they make?
So, and this is the thing, in Norway, you only eat what we have for Christmas at Christmas.
What does that mean?
Whereas the British way is like, it's a roast dinner, basically.
Yeah.
And you have a roast every Sunday. So,
yeah.
But no, in Norway, we have, or it depends where in the country you're from. So I think it dates back to like the old times.
Well, your family,
if you were, yeah, we have pork, like pork belly with crackling.
Okay.
Ooh.
And Christmas sausage and like cabbage, potatoes.
Is pork is like the primary meat in Norway?
No. We only really eat that for Christmas.
Okay.
But it depends. As that area of Norway that we have that is normally like farmland places. Okay. Obviously, back in the day, they had their own farm and they had pigs in the in the back and killed it for Christmas. And if you're from like the coast part of Norway, you can have, or most people have salmon.
Okay.
Well, I bet that's so fresh as well.
Yeah.
Imagine salmon in Norway. I bet it's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. And up north, they do it a lot of reindeer. And reindeer is really good.
Reindeer?
That's a Christmas fucking dinner.
Yeah, reindeer.
Serve Rudolph up there. Get him up there with his horn.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So they actually eat reindeer? Like venison?
Yeah. No, like reindeer.
Is reindeer? Well, deer is venison, isn't it? I don't know if
is venison deer?
Venison is deer.
Yeah.
Oh, venison is deer. Yeah. Why didn't I just know? That's how I know they taste the same.
Imagine that you got like everyone has their hog roast with the pig with the apple, and in Norway they've got the fucking horns on the table.
Are you a good cook, or are you just kind of winging it for Christmas?
I don't know. You have to ask James. But the thing is, I don't necessarily cook. I cook the food that I enjoy eating because I'm obviously cooking for myself. Yeah. And because James always eats his rice and chicken.
Yeah.
It's not like I cook a lot for the two of us.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy cooking. But if I can sit down and eat with other people, because it is a bit boring cooking for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So today's a special occasion because you got Louis coming over and you're going to make something good.
Yeah, well, that's tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, that's today. Sorry, that's tomorrow. Today's Norwegian Christmas.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I prepped some red cabbage based on my mom's recipe, and I never done it before, but it looks really nice. So that's all done. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna do the turkey tomorrow and see what it is.
Do you play video games too, or no?
Huh?
Do you play video games with James or no?
Well, I have downloaded wherever he's playing now, just so I can join in because I can't tell him not to do it, so I might as well just join in.
Can't beat him, join him.
So you're like, exactly. Might as well spend quality time gaming rather than not spend any time at all.
Yeah, but I do like it because it's kind of strategic.
Yeah.
And I like that. So, yeah.
Him in the background.
In a weird way. Can you see James?
Yeah, I can see him.
Put my head in. I'm in.
So you basically conform to everything that James likes: gaming, training. He's got you doing it all.
No, like I always trained myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's how we met in a gym.
Yeah.
And I used to play PlayStation when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah. Like Mario.
Crash Bandicoot.
That's not Mario.
Crash Bandicoot, yeah. Mario.
Mario's not PlayStation.
It's Nintendo.
Oh my God.
Okay, right, yeah.
Don't offend him. He's going to get offended. He's going to get offended.
She's a fake gamer. Call her out. She's pretending.
Yeah.
She didn't know.
I did get like an Xbox for Christmas of my brother one year because I play all the Assassin's Creed games.
He won't know what you're on about. He's going to be like, what the fuck is she
I know what Assassin's
Creed. Your listeners might know. Yeah.
Ben won't even know.
I'm hoping I've got Assassin's Creed under the tree.
Oh, the new one is not good. I don't like it.
Oh, fuck. Right,
it's all about like Vikings, but it's no.
Ben, you're a gamer too?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
I haven't got time to wipe my own ass with this baby. I even said that. Denise, I haven't put the PlayStation on in fucking months.
Well, you're gonna have to now. James is doing Twitch and all this shit now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give up coaching and start gaming.
All right. Well, do you want to answer some questions, Janicke?
I can try one question and then James can finish his food.
You can actually do one question.
Yeah.
You actually
obviously he can't hear what you're asking, so he's screaming.
Her do a question.
I'll try.
Make it a good one. Make it a good one.
All right, Janicke, the gym is packed. Do you wait for a machine to open up, or do you move on and skip your routine? Skip it and go do something else.
I'll first try and ask the person how many you got left, and if they say like 4, I just say I'm jumping in.
Do you just say I'm jumping in, or do you ask?
No, I say I'm jumping in. Because if you have
She's Janicke we're talking about. Janicke's blunt. She's direct.
She's like, fuck you, I'm jumping in. I don't care whether you like it or not.
Because most guys would say like, oh, I got like 4 or 5 left. I'm thinking you can't do 20 sets. Yeah. So I'm not going to wait. So yeah, normally I say I'm jumping in.
Yeah.
But if it's like a group of 3 guys, then I might go and do something else and then go back to it. Yeah.
Okay. If you have to give up coffee or McDonald's, which one do you, what do you like to cheat with?
Well, I eat cakes every day, so
okay. If you have to give up coffee or cakes, which one are you going to give up?
Cakes.
You can't give up the coffee, eh?
No.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, Ben?
Yeah. I'd give up coffee for cake.
Really?
Oh, I'd keep that cake in. I'm a fat fuck.
I don't think I'm like an avid drinker of coffee, but I have a coffee every day. I don't think I could go without it.
Yeah,
I didn't drink
start
coffee
my day
for a
every
while.
day.
Yeah.
I didn't start drinking coffee until my prep, and now I'm kind of just in the habit of drinking it, but I'm not that bothered by it.
Like, I'm not one of these coffee connoisseurs that like goes and buys different coffees and have all these different coffee makers and shit. But
the order you put in earlier was complicated. I'm like, what is the order in there?
No, it was not.
I was like, what is this? Like Diva latte with almond milk and some sugar-free coconut syrup.
It's a fucking Americano. Do you know what Americano is? It's coffee with water. It's espresso with water. That's all it is.
The black coffee. Just call it black coffee.
Yeah.
No, it's espresso. It's not black coffee. It's espresso.
Jay takes the mick out of me because I drink dry coffees, dry cappuccinos, and he keeps laughing at me.
What does that mean? How do you drink a dry? I don't understand what that is.
Just the grind. You just got a couple of grinds and drinking it.
No. So I only drink a cappuccino.
Okay.
Because I don't drink black coffee. But dry means it's just the foam. So there's no liquid milk. It's just milk foam. Just foam.
Oh, I bet that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's much better.
Because if you ever give me a cappuccino, the foam bit on the top's the best bit.
Huh.
Yeah, because normally if you go to a busy coffee shop and you ask for a cappuccino, you basically get a latte. And I don't drink a latte. I drink cappuccino because I want the foam. You ask for it dry.
Ooh, that makes sense. Game change. I'm going to ask for. I didn't know you could ask for a dry. I'm doing that.
All right, Janicke, you can have one cereal for the rest of your life. What are you choosing?
I don't eat cereal.
What do you eat for breakfast? You don't eat cereal? Who doesn't eat cereal? Everybody likes cereal.
No,
you don't like cereal?
No, I'm not a fan.
Really?
Oh, all right. Get her off.
Yeah, you're out.
That's your strike. You're out.
What do you eat for breakfast?
Cake.
You eat cake for breakfast?
Cake,
like a Jaffa cake and coffee.
That's your breakfast?
Yeah, just one Jaffa cake.
Jesus, how do you survive on one Jaffa cake?
What's a Jaffa cake? I don't know what that is.
A little biscuit.
Have you not had a Jaffa cake?
A little cookie. It's like a cake. Size of one cookie, right? It's got like orange
biscuit.
Yeah.
A soft biscuit.
Yeah.
With like an orange jelly and then coated in chocolate on one side.
That's your breakfast.
But it's like this big.
No, it's like that big.
But you don't have any eggs or like any protein. It's just like a cake and coffee and that's it.
Well, I have that, and then an hour or so later I have breakfast. So I normally have rice flakes or toast.
Okay. No cereal, eh? I don't have cereal every day either, but when I want to treat, I grab cereal.
So what's your cereal of choice? One only.
This is gonna sound so boring, man, but I love Cheerios. But if I want to go for a sweet one that it's like a treat, it's probably Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Everyone loves the cinnamon out here, right? Fucking.
Oh, there's a good one in America that I like actually.
What's that?
It's shaped like bunnies, but they're gluten free. But they're like cinnamon coated, like apple cinnamon coated.
If it's gluten free, I probably haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm passing on that one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Ben?
I like a good Frosties, the standard regular Frosties, but they also now do
like Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, but they also do with the tiger. You know,
yeah.
But they now do a honey nut Frosted Flake.
Why did you do this when you were like Tony the Tiger? What does this mean? What is this?
No, because he used all Jack's.
Oh, this is Jack. I thought you were holding your stomach. I'm like, why is he doing
that?
No,
Tony the Tiger's got like his itty bitty waist and he's fucking like this.
All right, so Frosted Flakes, no cereal, and I'm gonna go with Cheerios. All right, we'll give you a bodybuilding one.
Okay.
Who has the tools to be the next dominant Mr. Olympia?
James Hollingshead.
Yeah, say your boyfriend.
See, the guy sat.
I'm giving you a hint. Say the guy next to you.
Him.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huh? Are you replacing me now?
No, I'm just answering a question.
Oh, okay.
Tell him what the question was.
The question was.
No,
no, he can listen to the podcast.
He'll listen to it after.
Oh. Yeah, James. But I feel like it's quite open now, isn't it? It's not like it's obvious that one person is going to run it for several years.
I don't know. I have to disagree. I think if Big Ramy can stay in that condition or better, it's going to be very tough to beat.
The Ramy's hard to beat.
Yeah, but that's the question, though, isn't it? If he can come in shape every time.
Somebody wrote on my podcast that I did with Chad. Ronnie was a pro for 8 years. Chad got a hold of him, and then he was an Olympian for the rest of his career. And then Ramy was a pro for 8 years, and then Chad got a hold of him, and now he wins an Olympia. Isn't that kind of crazy, the coincidence? And so I think Ramy's just going to get better. I don't think he's going to get worse.
I hope so, because he's been the perennial Mr. Olympia for years, right? Everyone was waiting for that. Like, he's the biggest dude on stage. He was... I don't know.
It's funny though. Nobody expected that from Ronnie, and Ronnie was there for 8 years, and then all of a sudden he just started winning. So now, Ramy's got the same line.
How old is Ramy?
How old is Ramy?
35.
35.
He's young enough.
Oh.
Yeah, he could win.
Well, you might be right. Okay.
Well, I changed your mind pretty easily.
James, you're wrong. Get out.
Okay, one more question.
Okay, one more question. Let's see. If you only had one song to train to for the rest of your life, what would that song be?
Could be Eminem.
Yeah, an Eminem song.
What one though?
Can you hear?
Yeah, what one though? I can hear him. Yeah, what one? Should I collapse?
That's like my wife's favorite song, I think.
Yeah, maybe that one, or maybe White America.
Oh, that's a good one too. I wouldn't have expected you to pick that one. Why that one?
I don't know. I just like it.
Okay. What about you, Ben?
Not because it's White America. The song's good. The song's good.
I don't know, James. That's worrisome. No. What about you, Ben?
I have to go to Doomsday Architects.
I don't think I've even heard that.
That's the one that Luke posed to at the Olympia, and we listened to that most of the prep. And
is that like crazy, like hard, like the shit he listens to? Yeah. I can't get
it's not full on. I can't do the screamo shit.
Yeah, I can't do that shit either.
But the Doomsday is the one, and actually, if you listen to the lyrics now, it's pretty poignant about him passing. So, but I've used that a lot in the last year.
So, what was the question? I deleted the question now because I've answered it. So, no, it was
one song
for the rest of your life.
Song.
Oh, to train to though, but to train to.
Yeah.
I think
James would choose the Justin Bieber song.
Fuck off.
I'm on board with that. I can listen to the Bieber.
I would go with Disturbed Monster.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I've left a glass of water downstairs. I went down to get water and I didn't even bring it. Thank you.
That's code for go get me the fucking water.
Yeah. He's like, hint.
Yeah.
Took my job.
How does one grow a beard should you shave it more often or leave it unshaved for longer?
Yeah, I need tips on this too.
This seems like
I actually don't know.
Question. What do you mean you don't know?
No, because I don't know what I did in the beginning to get it to even come through. I can't remember now. You do obviously have to shave it a few times, don't you?
I think you should let the shit grow out until you can shape it, and then you just got to shape it like once a week.
Yeah, that's true. I think. Listen, you're the expert when it comes to beards.
No, I'm not an expert. I just think there's going to be an ugly phase where you have to let it grow. So
I've been stuck in this. I've been stuck in the fucking ugly phase for 10 fucking years.
It's because you're Asian. Yeah. That's why Asians don't grow like good beard good facial hair.
Luke used to tell me this. He's like, brush, like get the brush and then brush where gaps. I don't know. I've been trying them fucking work.
Brush the gaps. I think he was fucking with you on that one.
He was fucking with you for sure. He's like, look at this. He's like, look at this.
Brush the gaps.
Brushing his
Fouad's there brushing the top of his head.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Hey,
it's true what you say though. You got to let it just get really big and horrible, and then you just go to the barbers and say, "Listen, tidy this shit up," and then they do.
Yeah, I have heard that though, where some people are like, the more you shave it, it will grow back thicker, and then you shave it again, and it will go back.
That happens with pubes. That's a pubic hair thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just let it fucking grow, and now I just kind of trim the sides and let the bottom go out.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, you got to let it go. And I think if you can't grow a beard, you can't grow a beard. Like
some people just can't.
Yeah, some people like Ben. Like it's not going to grow. Like you probably can't grow any hair right here.
No, I get it. Like I have to trim up here weirdly. I'm like, what the fuck is this up here for? It grows here, but not here. I'm like, and it's really thick here underneath, and really fucking thin and patchy here. I'm like, this is shit. And Denise hates it, and every time Denise like shave your beard, I get more stubborn. I'm like, nope, I'm not shaving it now.
To be fair though, is it genetic? Because I don't see a lot of like Asian people with big thick beards.
Oh, we have to go fucking racist again, don't we?
Asians don't have a lot of body hair. Period.
I've never seen a massive beard on an Asian fella.
Yeah.
No, you do get those fucking.
Yeah, you get the long, thin ones. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I might start doing that. I might start plaiting this bitch down here.
Like Mr. Fuji. Mr. Fuji from wrestling. Remember Mr. Fuji from wrestling?
No.
You don't remember Mr. Fuji?
I'm thinking of Karate Kids, the guy from that.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Miyagi.
Not Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Fuji. Wasn't it Mr. Fuji?
I don't think wrestling was very big in England. You Americans fucking love your wrestling.
I'm not American.
Yeah, you are. You're Canadian. It's the fucking
same shit. Same shit,
just up north.
This guy. You remember Mr. Fuji?
That looks like the guy from fucking James Bond. Odd Job.
Yeah, it does an odd job. No, I'm talking about the really fucking. You know, like you get in the films where they have that fucking long,
wispy, long white one. Yeah. Yeah, that's someone from a film like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Miyagi, like this.
Yeah, see, look, the hair's thin. Like, it doesn't grow, does it?
Yeah.
That's what I got.
This is literally what Ben's got. This is a glimpse of your future, Ben.
They got quads and no facial hair.
All right.
This is fast forward 30 years.
These are good beards. Check this shit out. That's a good beard.
No, this guy. No, look at where it says 23 trendy beard styles. Click on that guy down on the left-hand side.
Look at this one. This one's great.
But look at the third one down where he's got that like long,
this thing,
that long off the chin.
Look, this search obviously proves that Asians can grow good beards. I mean, look at this fucking beard.
Yeah, but it's like one in.
Wait, is that a good beard? Because to me that looks like a fucking hobo, messy as shit. Aside from the moustache,
I think it's cool because it's got like it's got like this style here. Yeah. But it's
there's this business up top and business up top and a party down here, right?
It's business on the stash, party on the beard. That's like
so there is hope. There is hope.
Look at this. I always want to grow a beard like this, but I can't ever get it like
that.
Yeah, like that.
Now, see, this is the mistake. This is the mistake where we'll go, oh, this good-looking guy has a really good beard. If I grow mine the same, I'll be as good-looking.
No, he's just good-looking. Yeah, no, he is.
We're missing the premise, the foundation. We don't have the bone structure. We don't have the bone structure and the eyes.
No, Ben, that's not true, Ben. It's the fucking beard. I'm going to shave my beard like this, and then I'm going to look like this. And then I'm going to look like this guy.
Okay, fucking hell. All right, you want to squint your eyes a little more and you're fine.
You know, what we're forgetting as well is we're missing the top part.
Yeah, the top part makes
a
big difference.
That makes all. Listen, his hair there is making all that difference.
I didn't realize how much hair made a difference, but it makes a big fucking difference.
That's what Ben was thinking of, wasn't it? That was the.
This is the kind of hair I wanted when I was younger.
Oh, I would. Yeah, if I could do that, I'd rock that all day long.
When I was like 8 years old, I was like, why can't I have long blonde hair?
Well, we're not cutting Phoenix's hair because I want him to be like a little Tarzan baby.
Yeah, you should do that shit. I like when people do that shit.
Yeah,
look, that's a good fucking beard.
That's solid.
That's a good beard.
Do you remember Jason Haas beard? Jason Haas beard was like fucking squared
off. Yeah.
You need that hair though, Fouad. Look at the hair he's got.
I know, this is crazy. We just can't. We're just never going to have it, James. We just have to accept the fact that this is all we got.
To me and you, just go to Turkey and get it done.
Look at this guy. Fucking.
That looks that looks so hot though.
This guy's like model on top, and he's like a scrub on the bottom.
I think me and Fouad should go to Turkey and record it for YouTube and get it done.
If I could get any hair ever, like if I went and bought some hair, it would probably look like this. What do you think?
I can just imagine you putting that face. That's why I'm laughing.
No, like I just want like this haircut. Like that's a nice haircut. I look good with that. No,
that is cool. Thank you. I don't have. I'm a blonde white man. My hair doesn't do that.
I want that big, fucking long mane.
James would look good with this hair.
I would have looked so good with that. Honestly, I would have been like.
Can you imagine James? No, I see Ben with this hair. I can't see James with this hair.
Oi.
I don't think that's not your look. This is like Ben could get away with this.
It's not my look because I ain't got it.
No, but I mean, you couldn't get away with this. It would look weird.
Oh, come on. Slap that on my head and I look great.
No, I don't think so. I think Ben can get away with this because he's a little bit metro. You know what I mean?
Metro. Metrosexual.
I think.
Time way of saying he's a bit gay. Yeah.
No, that's not what I said.
He's in the middle.
See, this is you, James. This is what I see with you.
Gentleman hair.
Yeah, like
I don't.
Yeah,
that's me. Just because he's ginger, you bastard.
Or like the.
That's all that is.
Like this.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I tell you what, that beard just makes me feel like itchy though.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a wool sweater.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, you couldn't have that in Texas. You'd be going out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, you'd be.
See, Ben can pull this off right here.
I feel like we're just looking at men.
This could be.
How we ended up looking at male models?
We're just scrolling through pictures. The beard's not even part of it no more. We just literally see what all different men look like. Finding our favourites.
He was complaining about. You were complaining about us spending 20 minutes actually answering a question. That was just rogue fucking.
He's like, I like this one, and then he moves on. This one's good, and not the context has changed from. I actually just like this man's face.
Yeah, this is what I have with my wife, and she's like, "Oh, I might get my hair done like this one, or then like this one. Like, what do you think about this?" I'm like, "Fucking, I'm trying to deadlift 800 pounds. Fuck off." She did that into the gym. I swear to God, I'm trying to get ready for my heavy set. And she starts showing me haircuts, and I'm like, "You are taking the piss."
That's not.
Right. I said, "Can we do this later?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
I'm gonna start using that saying. I want to start using that saying. I'm gonna adopt that saying.
Or taking the piss.
Taking the piss. Yeah.
You're taking the piss.
It's one of my favorite British sayings.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And I feel like I hang out with you guys enough now that I'm allowed to say it.
You are. You're in the club. You're fine.
By association, you can use it. Yeah.
You pass. When you're really pissed off, you're like, you're taking a fucking piss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, next time. All right. So, question: clothes smell good, and then I shower, but before then, smelling like ammonia when sweating in the gym. So I don't know if he's saying he smells like ammonia or his clothes smell like ammonia. But if it's the clothes, I've had that like funky smell after being washed. It's get some borax. There's a detergent called borax. It's BORAX. I add it, like you add the detergent, add your fabric softener, and then add the borax as well. It'll fucking kill any stink or funk or anything.
And a slightly hotter wash as well, right?
I don't
clean it better.
I don't think I do a hot wash because it fucks your clothes up, doesn't it?
You don't do the washing, so you have to ask summer.
No, but even when I did do because I used to do my laundry, I just do a cold wash.
It's safer.
How many years ago?
Probably. She didn't start doing my laundry from day one. It's probably like it's been a couple years. It's been a couple years.
Nowadays we have these machines that you know.
No, I make Summer's got a thing in the tub, and she sits there and scrubs everything.
I make Summer. Your wording was bad there.
Yeah, I know.
My
wife works her fucking ass off, and she's nice enough that she will do my laundry for me. But what if he's smelling like ammonia from his own body? What is that?
I reckon that's because he's on the old fish and rice cake diet. You know, with the old white fish makes you stink, doesn't it?
Isn't it also if you're on if you had a lot of ketones?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like if you eat fish, the fish will do it for sure. Yeah, if you eat a lot of fish. I think he meant clothing anyway, so I would get that.
Yeah, but his clothing. Surely your clothing only smells because you're sweating into it.
No, sometimes they end up getting a bad smell in them, and when they get hot, then they'll smell straight away.
Like I used to have clothing that, like, I would wash it, and I would take it out of the wash. It would smell fine.
Put it on Bab straight away.
Once I put it on and I heat it up, it would bring out a funk smell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I bought this borax stuff. If you don't want to use borax, you can also use. I think baking soda works pretty good too.
I've heard that works.
Okay. Who do you think is the most underappreciated Mr. Olympia?
Probably Haney. Just because he has got 8 and he doesn't really get the same rapport, like the same support in his achievements as, say, like Dorian, Arnold, and if you take those 4 that have won the most, who do you bring up the name of the least?
I was going to say that too, but then I thought to myself, there's some guys with like 1 Olympia that people just shit on.
Yeah, but one isn't 8, and
no, I'm not saying. I think you're right in your approach, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, nobody really talks about Lee, and he's got the record.
Yeah.
But then I was also thinking about someone like how many Olympias did Colombo win? Like 2?
2, I believe. One, they're apart, weren't they?
Do you ever hear anybody talk about him?
Not really.
He's Arnold's mate, right?
Yeah, he's just known as like the sidekick, but he's got an incredible physique.
Good back.
Like I tell you what, I don't. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think Phil has been under, just because he's not very well liked.
Yeah, he's a very controversial Mr. Olympia. But I think Phil got the shittiest end of the fucking stick, because Phil started in the social media age, and nobody really knows how to handle social media because people can be really shitty.
Even us now, like, we're still like, some days we're like, what the fuck are we doing?
Dude, I snap all the time, because I'm like, here you have, everybody has insecurities and people say shit and you freak out. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. But Phil, I think,
he's such in the limelight.
Phil was the first Mr. Olympia to have to deal with it on the highest level.
Yeah.
And what's it? Facebook launched in what, 2008, 2009?
Yeah.
Ish.
It was like after Jay, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, but I wonder if Jay would have handled it better than Phil, even if he was at the time of Phil. So it depends on the personality too, right? Like,
yeah, I don't think Jay would be the type of person to read much.
No.
Whereas Phil's eyes are always looking at what people are saying about him. So it depends on how you are in it. Jay didn't care. I feel like Jay didn't care as much about how people perceived him when he was in his bodybuilding.
I feel like
he was just like, I'm going to get this done.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ben.
I feel like Phil's offstage presence tarnished his onstage presence.
It's tough though, because I think Jay was able to not be on social media because he didn't have to be.
Yeah.
I think in Jay's era, you could still travel the world and do your guest posings and put out DVDs and all that shit. You didn't have to read what was going on online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think in Phil's time,
you had to.
Yeah, I think you're looking at Instagram, you're looking at YouTube, you're looking at.
But what I mean is, I think as fans, we didn't appreciate his on-stage physique as much because we associated a negative with.
Yeah, I know. I agree with
popular,
you. I agree with you. It's a separate conversation, because sometimes I feel bad for Phil, because
that's what I'm saying. I think he's underrated.
I think he got shit on the most out of any Mr. Olympia, but only because of the circumstance of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't think, like, think about, like, me and Chad were talking about the 90s and how, like, all the guys used to travel together and do all the Grand Prix, and they're all signed under Weider. They all had massive Weider contracts, and that was their life. Those guys didn't have to hear shit from anybody. Think about it. You got paid for your contract through Weider. Weider would write articles, or you would write an article for them, and they would publish it. And you didn't have to hear anything from anyone, because anytime you interacted with a fan, they were just happy to see you because they had no access to you. Yeah. So, like, if you went to a seminar or a guest posing, people were there to see you. So they're there to see.
Yeah, they're there to see you.
They're there to see you. Yeah.
But like, I feel like, especially towards the end of his like 7 reign, people weren't necessarily cheering for like Roden or the other guy. They were just cheering for him to not win.
Yeah, but that was like that. I think that happens no matter what, because that happened with Ronnie too, right? Like when Jay beat Ronnie, everyone
went mad.
Everyone went crazy because I think people get.
Yeah, but I think they wanted Jay to win. In this instance, I just think they didn't want Phil to win again. If that makes sense.
It does make sense, but I also think, as much as some people wanted Jay to win, I think a lot of people were like, "When is this guy going to lose already?" Because even when Gunter beat him, people were like off their rocker. They're like, "Gunter beat Ronnie, right?"
Yeah,
and
GNC.
I think it's not the same thing with Dorian. Remember, like, people were kind of sick. They get sick of people winning over and over again.
It's true.
Isn't that bad? Isn't that terrible though?
That's the nature of people. They want people. This is how I feel like people work. If you're the underdog, they're all for you.
Yeah.
And then when you achieve something good, they're still on your side. But if you achieve too much, then they're like, "Hey, wait a minute."
Do you know,
we'll be able to see.
I want to ask.
Sorry, go ahead, James. Or Ben, go ahead.
I was going to say, we had to see, because everyone wanted Ramy to win eventually, right?
Yeah.
So now we'll see. If he goes on a run, we'll see if people get bored of him winning, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
My question that came from that actually was, so how many Olympias is the perfect amount to win?
3.
4.
I think 3.
I think 3.
I think 3 people will be like, well, "Oh, it's sad to see you go, but happy that you've done it."
Yeah, it's like you're not part of the furniture, as you would say.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So 3, I think 3 consecutives, you can leave and you'll have a legacy, especially if you leave on top and it was a clear win. Like, people always wonder, what if you came back? But then they won't tarnish you with that, "Oh, he's still here, boring bastard."
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Jay. I mean, Jay won 4, right?
Yeah.
That's why I said 4, because Jay's pretty much done it.
Because Jay, you know why Jay's loved so. Think about this. This is why Jay's loved so much. He was second place for like fucking 8 years or 6 years or whatever. So like, he was the underdog for 5 or 6 years. So everybody loves the underdog. Then he wins, people go crazy.
Yeah.
And then he fucks off after a couple wins. And it's like, he's got the perfect story that people like.
He wasn't there long enough for us to get pissed off with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's true, isn't it?
And he lost one in the middle. So it like made people want
a second boost.
People wanted to see him come back. So
yeah, like, just as we were about to hate him, he loses one. Poor guy. And then
it's true.
If you think about it, Jay had like the perfect rise and fall and exit.
He probably did it on purpose. He could sense what he needed to do. He was like, "Listen, the audience are getting fucking bored. I'm going to come in a little bit off, get second, and then what I'll do is I'll come back.
Yeah.
It was a business move.
Would you still bodybuild if gear never existed? And what do you think top pros would look like?
They look like the natty bodybuilders.
I bodybuilt before I took any gear, so yes.
We all did.
I think we love to train, so I don't think steroids is what makes us love to work out. I think we'd still work out. I think
the fact we've now taken the steroids means I'm not going back to that part.
I think pros would look fucking smaller, but still as good.
Probably have more. Do you know what we would have? We'd probably have more detail.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, the natural guys, they do.
They're crazy, those guys.
Yeah, they get a phenomenal lines.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. Yeah, we would probably look like those guys. I mean, they're a little smaller and they're fucking peeled out of their minds. They look great.
Yeah.
But like James said, we all started natural, so it's a
Like, I didn't really start natural.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah, well, if I'm going to do this, I want to go.
I'm going to do it. I'm putting my foot on the gas. Fuck it. Go right.
Annabelle day 1.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I was like kind of doing like kind of circuit training, cardio kind of bullshit for a couple of years. I was fat and then I got like lean. The day I decided to start like my competition prep, like I'm like, okay, I'm going to compete. That was the day I started doing gear.
Yeah, but I did the same. But I had like 5 years of training before that, just like you said, generic.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm still going to let you off because you had 2 years of like not doing it.
But it wasn't really. It was like circuit training and like.
I was like in the gym. It counts.
Yeah.
Wait. Where's the picture of this, Fouad? I want to see CrossFit Circuit Fouad.
I think there is one somewhere.
Oh, this is gonna be golden. Did he have hair as well?
Oh yeah.
Did you have the bit at the top still? I saw that where you had like the. I saw a video of you.
You know, I was born with hair, Ben. You know that, right?
I mean, I don't believe it, but sure.
Oh fuck! I got pictures of like my very first show, but I don't have
nothing predating that.
I have posted it before, but I don't think
I need the CrossFit Fouad. That's what I need in my life. All I want for Christmas is a picture of Fouad doing CrossFit.
I have it on my Instagram. I don't know where the fuck. Well, that's an old fucking photo. Jesus Christ!
Do you know we can let you off because Circuit Fouad was ignorance. He didn't know.
He just did a lot of cardio.
Exactly. He didn't know.
I can't fucking find. These are all old photos.
Oh, what? There's actually one just on the internet spread out there.
No, I actually posted it a couple times. It's like my starting photo because I remember the day I started. It was May 21st. It was May 21st, 2000. And I said to my buddies, I'm like, take a photo. This is my starting point.
Shit, I was 11.
So I have. I was 11.
I was as well. Yeah. Fuck.
So I have the actual photo somewhere, but I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. We'll have to look for it. I'll post it the next time or something.
That's cool. We'll find that.
Okay, we'll find it another time.
I love the Fouad, the Mohawk Fouad picture.
Mohawk Fouad is my favorite Fouad.
There's been many Fouads, to be honest.
There was Fouad with hair, Fouad with the Mohawk, bald Fouad. Yeah, I can't.
Now we have Daddy Fouad.
Yeah, fuck off. Not yet. Almost.
No, okay. You're the daddy of bodybuilding. That's a good.
What I thought Evan was the daddy. I'm the uncle. I'm the uncle of bodybuilding.
Okay. No uncle.
Right, Dad. Evan's the dad of bodybuilding.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fair point.
Right, James.
I think you're. I don't know. Yeah, you're becoming like president.
I'm.
I'd say.
I'll take president. That's good.
You're in the it's like you're in the Oval Office right now, giving us all a lecture.
Okay. What's your favorite cookie?
Just a straight chocolate chip.
That's what
I do. I was going to say what I do like a macadamia nut.
Chips Ahoy.
Tender or wait? Do you like it soft or crunchy?
No, not soft. Not soft.
I like both. Depends what mood I'm in. I like both, to be honest, evenly. Sometimes I want crunch. Sometimes I want soft.
If I'm dipping in milk, I want crunch. If I'm not, I want soft.
People don't really like when I speak to people. A lot of people don't like a crunchy cookie, but I love a crunchy cookie.
I love a crunch. I'm all about the crunch.
I like it if I can dip it.
So if you can't dip it, you have to go soft.
I feel like I can eat a lot more cookie if it's soft. For me, I always gauge things by how much of it I can eat.
So if you can eat more, that's better. Is that what you're saying?
I can eat more of these if they're soft. I just like a really crunchy one with like a nut and a chocolate chip in it.
I don't.
It has to have a bit of nut. Yeah.
I don't do the nut thing. I'm not a big nut guy.
You're not?
I mean, I like peanut butter and stuff, and I like cashews and shit. But I think when I'm eating like a dessert of some sort or a baked good,
yeah.
Oh no, I like a bit of texture in there. So
I'm trying to think of something I like with nuts in it.
Don't like anything with pecan in it.
Like a pecan pie is good.
Exactly, or pecan tart with like.
But if I'm eating a cookie, I just like a cookie.
Yeah.
Speaking of cookie, you guys, I cannot honestly. Our new protein is here.
Is it a cookie flavor now?
Hey, you got my address.
It just got to the warehouse, so we're populating in our fulfillment center.
We need to do flavor reviews for.
I got a special.
Is that the flavor when I was trying to guess it?
No, I got a special flavor, but it involves cookie. That's all.
Cookie and milk. It's called cookie and milk because you love cookies and milk.
No. If you guess it, I'll tell you, but you're not going to guess it.
Fuck, I want to guess it now.
If you guess it, I'll tell you. So
is it cookie and something? Or is it?
It's cookie. That's all I can say. I'm not going to give you anything else.
Sugar cookie.
No.
No. That's a flavor out here. Apparently,
it is a flavor. But
sugar cookie.
It's not sugar cookie. No. And
my wife does that.
It's got a bit of cookie in it too. It's really good. It's got little chunks of cookie in it.
Maybe it's like dipped cookie flavor with happy tears of Fouad. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a little spicy.
Can you believe it? We fucking have a protein. I almost have a full line of shit now. Now we just need like a.
Did you go for what did you go for, an ISO or a blend? What did you do?
No, we went for an ISO. I always believe in ISO because I think my personal favorite time for preference, my personal preference for protein is post workout. That's my favorite time to be able to have protein. So I think that was the reason I went with that one. And I think if I want to use it somewhere else, I can slow it down by adding peanut butter or whatever. Like, they're adding some fats. I mean, I don't know, but I think post workout is the most important time. So that was kind of how it was formulated.
So now you're gonna have Hosstile Gym. You got Hosstile full line of protein and everything,
and clothing.
Now I'm interested to know what sort of tub shape you're gonna have for your protein, because right now you've got like the cylinder, all the same size all the way up. And I like those tubs because remember when CMP used to do ProPeptide? Ben. And you remember in the
tub,
those cylinders,
I
remember the tubs. You remember the tubs that looked like they were like a DIY cement mix?
Yeah,
they were the Pro Mass. That was the Pro Mass.
Those are the 5-pounders though.
Yeah, well, I like that. I like that because you don't catch your knuckle going deep into it.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, it's going to be just a 2-pounders only, and it's a regular tub. It's not the cylinder.
I'm really upset.
I know. I'm sorry, man. It was for ease of, that's just, it's going to cost more to do the cylinder thing. And then I'm going to have to raise the price on customers, and I don't want to do that. So
pay more for the cylinder, people.
Pay more. Yeah.
Keep the cylinder alive.
We're charging you $2 more for the cylinder. No, I'm happy.
I like how the joy is because I like how the cylinders stack in a cupboard.
I know. I don't disagree with you, but it's just not. But no one wants to pay an extra $2 because you know what I mean. And I don't want to eat the profit. So I'm like, fuck it. But now I just want to do. There's a few other things I want to do, but I think we need like a vitamin mineral pack. Yeah, those are because I feel like that would complete the whole line.
Got something for everything, then, haven't you?
Well, I mean, like, there's obviously a whole bunch of
the fundamentals.
The fundamentals, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So,
how would you like to approach it? Like kind of how Animal have with like a pack, or would you have a powder-based one, like their Flex powder, like or?
No, Animal do an Animal pack powder as well.
Now they do, yeah. Ideally, what I would like to do, because the inspiration would probably come from Jeff Long's company. Jeff Long started with
his stuff's good.
Jeff Long started with a powder, like a first thing in the morning powder with like a full vitamin mineral mix, and then I think HD has one now too. I think it'd be something along those. Sorry, what's that?
Sorry, no.
Go ahead. What did you say?
I said because James used to be sponsored by the Ambrosia people, right? The collective.
Well, I had a sponsor that was a whatever you call it,
a supplier.
Several, yes. So I tried a lot of those things.
Ideally, I would like it to be a powder that would mix well with our essential aminos, because I always do the essential aminos first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So I would like to be able to mix it flavor wise with that, so that they flavor well together, and then you can just drink it all in one shake.
Done then, isn't it? Yeah.
That would to me, like if I was like talking about my own performance.
Yeah, of course.
To me, that's the most ideal way. That way I can just get it all done in the morning and I got it all in and it's finished.
For ease, isn't it? For the ease.
Yeah. So we'll see. Anyway.
Good idea.
Training in a hot gym or a cooler gym? Preference?
Cooler gym. Cold gym.
Really?
Yep.
Well, we got to establish how hot and how cold.
Cold is obviously cold enough to give you the shivers when you're not training.
I love wrapping up and putting hoodies and joggers on and getting warmed up and then just taking layers off. When you're hot, you're fucking dripping everywhere and it's bollocks.
If it's hot, like Metroflex hot, I think I agree with Ben.
Yeah, it's got to be hot. Let's go like real either end of the spectrum here, because otherwise it's not a good enough question.
I kind of agree with Ben, because once you're warmed up, it's cool to be all fucking bundled up and like.
And you're steaming, and steam's coming off you on the leg press. You're like, and it's like steam coming off.
Yeah. Good. I'd go for a cooler gym because obviously King's is very cold.
Yeah, I would too. Because you're right. Because I don't like the feeling of like I sweat a lot, but I don't like the feeling of when it's like uncontrollably just dripping off me for like.
Yeah, you do that one warm up set and it's like dripping.
And there's a difference between effort sweat and temperature sweat.
Yeah, just being hot for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Biggest misconception in fitness: steroids do everything.
Oh, of course.
The steroid thing is the biggest misconception.
I think it is. Yeah, that's a very easy question, isn't it?
I can't count how many people I know that have done massive cycles that don't look any good.
Oh, I know people that look awful.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're just, because if steroids were the answer, all these guys would look amazing, and they don't.
Yeah.
So, what's the recovery methods you use to stay injury free and keep that 100% performance in the gym? Well, I can never stay 100% injury free, so you guys can answer.
I was about to say, I'll let you know. I'm gonna figure that one out.
You guys can answer that. Maybe James, you've been able to get away pretty scot free. You can answer that.
For me, the simplest thing is sorry, I can't think of the word, but obviously your training has to be
the periodization of it.
Yeah, but not necessarily time frame periodize, but periodize in accordance to your feelings.
So more instinctual training.
As to a certain extent, yeah. I think instinct's important. If you've got experience, then instinct's important. If you've got no experience, instinct's a little bit stupid.
That's so tough. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's so tough for somebody who's a beginner or intermediate to know when they need to back off and when they don't. That's why I say, like, time periodization probably makes more sense for somebody.
For a beginner, I think time's perfect. So do 6-week blocks, and then for an experienced person, they probably can adjust as and when.
Yeah.
I think what I spoke about. I think I spoke this a while ago, where I said people should be like not the passenger of the set, right?
What does that mean?
So you see some guys on a hack squat and they're taking it for a ride. And
I remember the
weight is riding them rather than they are controlling the weight. And I mean, if you're bouncing out the bottom of a hack squat or you're just kind of slot dropping down, and whether it's bench or anything like that, if you can't pull the weight down, pause and body build, right? That's what bodybuilding is, training the rep, right, or the movement, not the weight.
Yeah. So how does that? So you're saying that's how you stay injury free, is being able to.
I say you're better off.
Yeah.
If you're moving the weight under control, still heavy. Like if you watch James train, and most of the top guys that have control over the weight, they're still moving massive amounts of weight, but they've built up to it.
Hey,
and then you get young kids trying to keep up with James and loading the bar up, and they've got no business doing it, and they're gonna fast track them.
Did I already give you guys props for fucking the whole music thing, or no? Did I give you my training? Did we talk about the training music focus thing recently?
I think we did, but I can't remember the conversation. Fuck.
I wanted to give you guys some credit for changing my training. I feel like I'm more focused. And
we did have a long conversation.
Oh, I think it was on the live stream. Ben wasn't here. Ben was obviously.
Yeah, I honestly know my brain. I can't remember what we said, but I do remember saying something.
Like yesterday, I did a cluster set with 9 plates on the leg press. I did it like four sets, four set cluster. I would have never done that before, but it's because I feel like I've stopped training with as much emotion as I did before.
Yes.
Oh, so it's applied emotion rather than just constant emotion.
Yes. So what I used to do my whole career was I would get in the gym, get crazy, and then fucking go through my whole work and then go back to normal after I was done my workout.
Yeah.
So it was all just a blur of like rage, right?
Yeah.
which is fun, but probably caused a lot of my injuries.
Yeah.
So the last bit, and I don't know, maybe injuries, there's a whole bunch of theories why I have injuries. But anyway, the last month or so, I've been training with more like, I still put the song I want on, but I'm not like listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So like I sit down to do the leg press with 9 or 10 plates, and I'm like, it feels like I'm more focused on the form and where my feet are and like how my hips are moving. And I'm not like, okay, I got to get crazy. And like, I get in this place where I'm like nuts. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm actually more calm, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think of you guys now when I get like that, because I'm like, wait a minute, just get yourself set and get yourself ready. And then I think of something Ben always used to say, which is, make sure your hips are moving the right way, make sure your feet are stacked the right place. When you talk about getting into your squat.
Yeah.
And you have a certain pattern. And I'm like, so I've been starting to use that. And I feel like I'm actually getting more out of my sets than just being fucking nuts.
With the same weight, right? You can use the same weight.
I'm actually using more weight.
Less. Oh yeah, right. But you could. What I mean is, you can tap into it a bit more. You can feel it more.
Yeah. I feel like that's like that cluster set I did yesterday. My fucking sweep, and I've started going wide too on the leg press. My sweep was fucking I finished the first one. Normally I would do like 15 reps and then just stop. And I'm like, okay, that's good. Or I'd do a drop set or something. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it again. And I sat back down. I did 10 more reps. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to do it again. And I sat down, did 10 more. But every time I sat back down, it wasn't like, okay, got to get warmed up, got to get crazy. It was more like, okay, get your feet set, get your hips ready. And then it's fucking awesome, man. It's like I could feel the fibers moving.
Yeah.
Like I could feel
I try and get into this like motivated but serene place.
Yes. And now I understand what you're talking about, but I still disagree with you about the music. I don't need the music to get crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not getting crazy anymore, but I still like to have that like heavier music.
Yeah, but like you said, you're not invested in the music, you're invested in the movement now. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys some props for that. So thank you for teaching me how to train after 22 years.
So we're going to see so we're about to see a 7-plate squat is what you're saying.
I'm too scared. I still got that fear, man, from having so many injuries. Because
you're gonna have fear. That's the fear that drives you.
I know that, Ben. But it's like this is a thing. I think I did the 5-plate squat, and I'm like, I kind of want to go to 5 and a 5 and a quarter, or 5 and a 10, even, or 5 and a 5.
I've never been tagged in one of your videos so much as your 5-plate squat.
Anyway, the point is, I feel like if I do it and then I blow up my fucking knee, people are going to be like, oh, you're so stupid. Why'd you do that? You didn't have to do that. So, and then I would actually feel like they were right. I didn't have to do that. So I'm like, part of me wants to do it, but I don't want to suffer the injury, man.
Listen, I do think 5 plates is plenty enough weight for you to develop.
No, I think so.
I just don't. I really don't want to blow out a knee, man. Like that's a terrifying fucking.
It's not worth the risk.
Yeah. I chase a squat. I chase a heavyweight on a squat just because I like it. It's just
but you don't have but you don't really like. Your aspirations have never been to be a pro bodybuilder or anything. So like you don't.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. If I was purely about that, I probably wouldn't squat, or certainly not like I do.
Yeah.
I'd approach it differently. So I'm agreeing with you.
All right. So we've been on for 2 hours. So let's just take one more and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. This is actually not a bad question. What qualities do you think make a great bodybuilder? Anybody?
Patience, persistence, and although patience and persistence for me are like the two things that come to my mind. Like you need to be persistent and you need to drive hard and focus and keep working forward and keep giving it everything you've got. But at the same time, you can't expect to fall on your lap in one night. So the patience is a massive thing, but you can't be too patient, but you do need, I don't know. Those two words just came into my head. So that's my take. Patience and persistence.
I feel like I'm thinking something along the same lines. I just can't think of the word I'm thinking of. It's like somebody who's very methodical. Like you need to be like patient and well thought out is a very good one. Somebody who can be very consistent too. I would.
Yeah, consistency is obviously.
If you can't do the same shit every day, it's not the sport for you. Because it's just very, very repetitive.
I think you also need to be somewhat thick-skinned to a certain extent. That along the way in bodybuilding, majority of people along the way are going to tell you you're making the wrong choice. And if you give in to any of those, then you'll never see what you could have been in your bodybuilding. Because I know along my way, people are always trying to say, why don't you just call it a day and do something else?
But instead of thick skin, wouldn't you call that belief though?
Yeah, but it's almost like
you have to have more belief in what you're doing.
You have to have more belief than more energy in your belief than the amount of energy being thrown at you to tell you.
Okay, so we've touched on like all the mental things that you need. You need to have consistency. You need to have patience. You need to have belief.
Right. So that's enough for that.
Thick skin. And on the physical end, you obviously need to have.
Just in general.
Yeah, I mean, what does somebody look at when you say, what qualities do you think make a great bodybuilder physically? What are we talking about?
Proportion 5'5" to 5'10".
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
for the most part, if you look at the best bodybuilders,
proportion, just proportion in general.
Proportion, symmetry, aesthetics.
Yeah, so it's what the judges do look for, isn't it? Insertions, all those little things that add up to making a great physique.
I think structurally, narrow hips
wide shoulders.
Narrow waist, wide shoulders is the most obviously coveted things you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, I never understood why. I asked somebody this. I'm like, why do guys train glutes so much now? I've always thought that was a negative thing. Why do you want a big ass on stage? Because if anything, I want a small ass so my quads pop off the hip better, like from the back, right? Like, I don't know why guys train glutes so much now. I don't understand that.
Because the only glute exercise I do directly is adductor.
But I don't consider that a real. Well, I mean, I guess I do consider it glute, but
it's that's the only move. I don't really do any direct glute work.
It's still a muscle that needs to be developed. I think there's some guys up there that just don't have any glute development.
In that sense, I agree. But the majority of bodybuilders have glutes from squatting and leg press and hack squat.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, you know, I see got a lot of guys doing hip thrusts and shit now, and I'm like, unless you're a strong man or a power lifter, I don't know why you're accentuating those moves, because I could see doing it if you're saying, look, I want a better squat, so I'm gonna do this thing so I get a better squat, but I can't see doing it for the stage.
Well, here's a question.
Because think of it this way: look at Dennis Wolf, tiny fucking glutes, quads sweep off the fucking hip, right? And then you think of somebody like John De La Rosa, massive ass, so he's got huge legs, but they don't look as big because he's got such a big ass,
right? But he's not directly training glutes, though. I'm sure.
No, he's not. But I'm saying, why would you want to? You know, why would you want to have massive?
But that's what I'm asking. Who is doing that?
I just see more and more guys posting like hip thrusts and shit all the time.
Top guys or just?
No, I don't see. No, I don't see top guys. But I wonder why the gym guys are doing it. I'm like, where are you getting this from?
Because their girlfriends are doing it. They're fucking jumping on the.
I asked the guy in the gym once. Because I wasn't being an asshole. I said, look, man, I just want to know, like, seriously, like, why are you doing hip thrusts? He was on like that hip thrust machine.
Yeah.
And he's like, my girlfriend likes big glutes. I'm like, okay. Like, this fucking.
You can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that. Yeah, I'm like,
it might be for the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the bodybuilders are setting up OnlyFans now. So maybe
you're right. You're right. Because Luke and I used to be like, because at one point Luke was like, I'm going to stop squatting because we both had pretty well developed asses.
Yeah.
And Luke was like, I don't want to be doing any more of this. It's not productive for my stage look.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think having that, a small glutes and a small waist, you don't want to be training your waist wider and thicker.
Yeah.
For strongman, sure, have a solid base, but in bodybuilding, small joints and that proportions, it's going to throw the look off. Yeah, I agree. But like I said, I don't see many top guys doing it. So
no, I don't see any like the top 10 or anything doing like hip thrusts or any shit like that. But
Rami's not doing kickbacks.
Anyway, all right, guys, it's been a couple hours. We'll wrap it up there. I hope you guys have a good Christmas.
Oh, thank you, sir. And you, I forget it's Christmas tomorrow. Bloody hell, yeah. I hope everyone has a good Christmas.
So, and hope everybody there watching has a good Christmas. And we'll be back next week, I guess.
Indeedy.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen. We'll talk soon.
Nice one, brother.
Okay,
see you.
Bye-bye. Bye. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hosstile and myself. And lastly, check out hosstile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.